Colorado's good. Colorado's team is good. I'd say Texas went in there and they won that game. I wouldn't say Bama just lost. Brock Purdy is legit. He's legit. Plain and simple. Oklahoma is legit, folks. Boomer Sooner. They might be here to stay. The Chargers, right? They got all the pieces, but they're not moving the right ways. I don't know. They have all those big names, and they can't stop a parked car. He looked like dog shit out there yesterday. He's the reason we lost our coins. Josh Allen's trying to do too much. He got too cute. He really did. He got too cute. It is Russell Wilson and the Broncos. Guys, why were we acting this offseason like they were just going to be good after what we saw last year? What was going to change? All their receivers are hurt. Anyway, Russell Wilson's more worried about, what his next PR move is and, signing babies and shaking hands than he is, being a leader of his team. He doesn't even give out his phone number to his teammates. The guy's a bot.
Damn, brand new bag for bro, but I didn't pay for it. I don't like spending that cash because I'm trying to savor it.
What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Wednesday, episode 322 piece. As always, joined by your two co-hosts, Krabs and Javon, presented by Pickett Sports. If you're not using Pickett Sports to track your bets, grow up. Super clean UI UX, very easy. You syncs up with your books, does it all for you. Go check it out. It's free on the App Store and Google Play. Use promo code Javon, and they'll get you set up real nice. All right, chat? How about that squad ride last night, folks? Great call. I thought that was a good wager, Javon. They came through.
That was huge. Huge.
That was huge. And you kind of sound like a robot on your mic, so it might be off. But you know what? We could still hear you, and we'll figure it out. Chat, I doubted the squad ride last night. I chirped you guys during it. I said I'd much rather take the Cubs ML. What are we doing? This is why you guys are the sharpest chat on the planet and why I always trust. The over in Atlanta last night, absolutely free. Hope you guys cashed, and I hope you didn't have the Cubs ML like I did because that was rat piss, Javon.
Yeah, that was a trash bet, unfortunately. Shout out Seiya Suzuki for giving the Reds some life. They're kind of back in it. Still need a lot to happen, but that error was massive.
Reds are back. They've got life. We'll talk about plenty of those games and look at some of these look headlines in NFL and college football today. Of course, we'll go over the MLB slates and do the squad ride towards the end, folks. Stick around. Ask us questions about games, bets, whatever it is. You name it. We got you covered. As we got the sub-bangies rolling in, Javon, you know they were coming in with some Subbertons after a nice squad ride W last night. Zach Brownlee, that could be Zach Brown Band, cannot confirm, coming in with a sub-bang, 17 months. And we got Alan Neutron. Could be Jimmy Neutron's pops. We don't know. Cannot confirm. Giving out another sub to the community. Second day in a row. That's my guy. He probably thought I forgot. Never forget. Ever. All right, guys. W subs. Let's keep moving and grooving. Let's do the W recap from yesterday. Squad ride dubs. Javon, 2 for 3. You'll take that any day and twice on Sundays. Good work.
Yeah, there you go. That place. Had a couple, the Baltimore Nats under was about as good of a wager as the Yankees over was bad. So kind of even out there, and then got squad ride.
100%. I mean, looking at that, you went 3-1, including the squad ride. You'll take that any day. I had some bad luck. Shocker. On the MLB Diamonds. I feel like that's a tale as old as time. Not here to complain or talk about the losers, but man, the Guardians last night hurt. What a comeback from your Reds, Javon. They have life. That meat is still glued. And the Cubs ML was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. They were up 6-0. Javon, give me a break with that play. And we'll pivot because we got to talk about this game starting up in 3 minutes. But chat, that one stung the soul. That's what you get when you sign up for betting baseball. Shit like that happens. Fluke shit left and right. Cubs ML, Moose, wager, but we move. Javon, any plays you like in Arizona and Chicago? Maybe not the greatest game. We got Fott on the bump. We got Patino on the bump. You got any plays or any prize pick squares?
I'm not taking anything in this game, but, the entire world is hammering the D-backs now, and I'm certainly not going to be the person to fade it. You got Luis Patino going for, I don't know, a couple innings, kind of a little longer than an opener, and then the rest of the White Sox bullpen against a D-backs team who's kind of in like the driver's seat now, I guess you could say, for the wild card. So like they need to win, but a lot has to happen for them to get eliminated. So there's a lot going on. I don't think there's a situation where their bats don't show up. So I mean that's That's the play I would take, if anything. Lay the run line with them, but I'm off.
Any prize pick squares you want to take in this game? Anything catching your eye?
No, not really. I mean, you don't have all that much up unless you want to directly back Brandon Fott, whose numbers have been trickling down over the course of the morning, or just back one of the D-backs goats. So, I mean, I'm good there.
How about Trayce Thompson, who's up for half?
Trayce Thompson could be the one. That could be that's the only square that I even looked at twice in this game for the White Sox.
You got anything you can pair it with, even if it's a later game that you like, and we can go ahead and throw it in there and maybe just sweat out Trayce during BTL today? Would not mind that one bit.
It's a good question. I guess we got a minute to get it in.
Yeah, we do. I'm sure chat wants a little squad ride for the day. Well,
if you just want to, we can just pair a 0.5 total bases with yours and or mine.
What do you got?
I'm taking Michael A. Tater today.
No way.
Yeah.
Michael A?
Yeah.
Hey, Michael A. Tater, who has a very similar looking chart. I'd be down to pair it with Michael A. Tater, Nats legend, World Series champ, 2-piece, hold it fried. Yeah. Okay. Chats, little 2-piece to start the day off. Gonna go ahead and lock this one in. You got 1 minute. Hurry up, go, go, go. Trayce Thompson, more than half a TB. And we've got Michael A. Tater, more than half a TB as well. Michael A. Bonds, sure.
Michael A. Bonds.
For measly units after a W day on Prize Picks yesterday. That's what I'm talking about. Heart. Chat, there's your play in the early game. That game is moose, but we got you something. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Javon, people are talking right now, though, in chat, man. We've got Matt Wallner talk we need to get to because this is getting absurd. It's getting absurd.
It's insane.
He did it again last night, first inning. He didn't even wait. And by the way, that was one of the furthest hit home runs I've ever seen in my entire life. That was unbelievable. And that quote up top, Javon, is from their coach talking about how he's got a bad neck. I bet. And he said he could barely even see that ball. That's how far it went, like a rocket as it went into the night. Very poetic from Coach Baldelli there. But, man, that was a nuke. And I'll tell you what, Javon, wouldn't mind going back to Matt Wallner once again today. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, not to spoil it. I guess people can see it because we got it down there now. But I'm taking the Twins team total over because they have this guy starting for them who debuted last week, and he's like a massive fly ball pitcher, big home run risk against the Twins. So, I mean, if Wallner Bond shows up again today, I would not be surprised in the slightest.
I mean, I'm not saying Matt Wallner's going to hit a home run today. I'm just saying his name. That's all we have to do. And we'll leave it at that, Javon. But if you're already back in that TTO, maybe talking about Matt Wallner wouldn't hurt.
Wouldn't hurt.
Yeah. Would not hurt. That was a rocket. We got sub-bangies left and right. Young Q coming in hot, giving out a 5-piece to the people. That's my guy, Young Q. Absolute Young beast. Q. We got a hype train, folks. And Baby Martinez's burner coming in hot, Javon. It was indeed not the Orioles minus 4.5 last night. Yeah, that was a moose shit bet.
They hung in there, yeah.
What are you, Pete Rose, fading your own team? David Martinez burner? Come on now. And then Ron Mux Clam, a tale as old as time, coming in, giving out a sub-bang to the community. Can we get some W Rons in chat? The guy comes in here every day, watches BTL, gives us winners, and gives out sub-bangies to the community literally every day. So let's get some W's going for Ron and the squad. Thank you for the sub-bangies. We really appreciate it. Javon, that Matt Wallner home run, man, it's getting weird at this point. It really is.
He almost hit it as far as Ellie did in the second tank last night.
Ooh. My goodness. That game sucked. I don't even want to talk about it. We can a little bit when we get to that game today. Right now, Javon, let's go over some prize pick squares. I hope you guys tailed last night. I hope you OGs knew that we were supposed to take less than walks allowed for Hoke last night, and I fat-fingered it, and I posted the wrong slip. That is totally on me on the BTL Twitter. The good thing is I tweeted it out right at game time, so you probably didn't tail it anyways. That's also on me. So that's just unacceptable, Javon. Cannot happen. Hope, less than walks was the play by far. And that's what we talked about all day today on BTL or all day yesterday on BTL. And then I fat-fingered it and put the wrong slip out. Cannot make it up. Cannot make it up. We did hit a couple slips, though. We did hit some slips. Trent tailed, and even he smacked as well. And everyone on the feed on Twitter last night showing the slips of pairing together a couple squares we were talking about and absolutely cashing like this fella right here. W Crabs, W Community, W Javon. That's what I'm talking about, folks. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Chat, let's keep moving and grooving here. I did have a 6-piece that I thought was going to smack last night at one point, Javon. People forget I threw this together on BTL and added in those 2 squares to our 4-piece, but Steele got hooked. Man.
Yeah, I was pissed.
I almost hit my first 6-piece, Javon.
He was lights out for, 5 innings? Then he came in and just got absolutely moosed and then got taken out. And the reliever gave up the last run that was charged to him. That was kind of tough.
I bet. Could have been a 6-piece. Should have been a 6-piece. I don't give a hoot. On to the next one. We need to fight back and hit one, guys. It's been forever, and that one's stuck. All right. Javon, a couple other entries here we wanted to recap. An NFL, I think this is mine, and then our BTL college football entry. A little update here at the top for the NFL, but let's go ahead and hop to the college football one, Javon, that we threw together here on BTL. That one's updated. It's looking pretty okay. Our 2 receivers at the top need to step up a little bit. But Milton's doing his job. Gabriel, Rattler doing their job. Henderson's barely on pace. We're going to need big games from the 2 receivers at the top of that. And Goots, if we can click on that image on the right so they can see the top there. Perfect. Hunter and Cowan. We're going to need to step up, Javon. Are you getting worried yet?
No, because honestly, when they get into to Pac-12 play, I mean, there's a lot of bad defenses, but also they're going to be trailing in games a lot more. So that's kind of back half of the season when like Arizona plays Washington this week. That's going to be a big week for Cowing, Jeremiah Hunter. They go up against a lot of the better Pac-12 teams a little soon. So it's kind of conference play will be better for them. So I'm not worried about that. But yeah, that honestly, I mean, Jeremiah Hunter, 4 games? He's pretty much on pace.
Almost. Cowan's a little behind. That's the big one I'm worried about. But you know what? They got some big games coming up, and there should be plenty of points in that conference throughout the season, a.k.a. plenty of receiving yards as well from the best receiver on that team. I still feel like we're in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
Right? Let's take a peep at my season-long NFL entry. We'll scroll through it real quick, Javon. It's looking okay, besides Mike Evans. Can't really make it up. But we'll show you guys this slip. We got Dak, interceptions, Hurts yards, Chubb DNP'd. Obviously, you probably tailed this, hopefully, in chat. Our season entries have been pretty sharp, knock on woods. Jay Jettis had his first touchdown of the season last week. Gabe Davis is low-key on pace, and everyone's chirping him. I don't know why. He's doing fine. He's on pace for 900 yards. The one question mark is Mike Evans. Honestly, it's not even a question mark. He is killing it this season. But he's got an appointment with Marshawn Lattimore coming up, Javon. Maybe we get blessed here a little bit, and he doesn't have the best day against his arch nemesis.
Yeah, I think the part of it too, which, I mean, obviously you need him to slow down regardless, but he's got some appointments with that. Somebody, we finally started seeing what the Bucs offense really is, which I can tell you if we get 4 or 5 more games of that, Baker Mayfield ain't going to be the quarterback, which is what I was talking about with the Bucs all season. So if it's Kyle Trask come, the back half of the season, even if Evans is doing well to that point, I wouldn't count it out.
We've got 5 sub-bangies from Josh Squared again. Let's go, Joshy. That's what I'm talking about. W sub-bangs, Lembong. He's doing it for you, man. Don't forget, he is doing it for you. Josh Squared, 30. Sub-banging, giving out a 5-piece to the people. We got Luch 412 as well coming in with a bang. W subs, gentlemen. Really, really appreciate it. Beasts. Okay, Crabs, Survivor Pool pick this week. See Hair, don't you worry. I'll get you a pick. You know where to go for those. Still alive, in a great spot for Survivor. So stay posted. Probably later in the week on BTL. I'll give that one out. And we got a Woj bomb Dame to Milwaukee.
Dude. Oh my God, bro.
Yo.
I bet.
Yo. I mean, the East just got even tougher, Javon. Statement, thoughts from holy fuck. This doesn't even matter anymore. This is actually more important. Josh Squared with another 10-piece. 10-piece bomb, chat. You guys better be going ballistic right now, especially if you just got gifted a sub. Josh Squared 30 coming in hot with another 10-piece. Hold the fry. W's, Joshy. That's what I'm talking about, Beast. Javon, man, you're not looking too happy down there.
Dude, I mean, I said this when this was like brought up the first time. Like, as a Heat fan, there's always the every single top player in free agency or needs to get traded is always linked to the Heat, and it never happens. This one, where he stood on the platform for so long and said, "I will only be traded to Miami," and the fact that the front office didn't get to a deal to make it happen is crazy. This was the one where, I mean, I didn't believe in it. I said I would believe when I see it. But this was probably the best chance they had in quite some time. So the fact that that didn't happen is unreal.
So you're blaming the Heat execs. You're not even blaming Dan.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. They definitely should have tried. They were trying to stand on the little platform that they were going to lowball them to shit because they thought there was no other option for Dame to go, and obviously there is. So that is really a tough look.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Woj bomb. Bro, look at all those guys getting moved.
Yeah.
I mean, these are going to be completely new teams. Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nasir Little, Keon, some role players there going to Phoenix. And then Milwaukee getting Drew, DeAndre Ayton, Tumami Kamara. I don't know who that is. And a couple picks. My goodness. Holy smokes. Oh, that's Dayton legend. Tumami, I remember it. W's. Yeah. Nurkic to Phoenix is nice. Chad, what are your early thoughts? I know there's some NBA heads in here. Any early thoughts on Dame going to Milwaukee? I mean, that team just got a whole lot better. Not only do they have Middleton, not only do they have Giannis, now they've got Lillard. Talk about big three. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's wow. That's a fucking massive, massive trade.
So curious to see what the odds move to in the East. They're probably not going to be up for another hour or so, but we'll check them. Man.
Yeah.
Giannis to the Knicks. Dude, come on. Giannis isn't going anywhere. At least not this year. W trade for Suns, people were saying in chat. Phoenix got a lot better too. Okay, well, they still have Bradley Beal on their team, so they're not winning anything. They got a dude on their team who literally is a cancer and does not care about winning. So until he's off the team, it's not going to matter.
At least they have a bench now.
Now they have a bench because they literally did making all those trades and bringing over Brad. So, all right, that trade makes sense for both teams. Both teams probably improved. Portland and Piss. How about it?
Yeah, I don't know if they're in Piss. I mean, shit, they're really held the gun to their head pretty much from the Heat all offseason. They're just going to get a terrible deal for Dame. And now they went to Milwaukee in a little three-team trade and got probably 3 times better than anybody ever thought they were going to get. So,
okay. So maybe a rare win-win-win for all 3 teams.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to act like I'm the biggest DeAndre Ayton guy, but in a semi-rebuilding team with a lot of young pieces, getting Drew Holiday, a vet who's obviously going to be great defensively, and a couple picks in there too. That's just solid get.
DeAndre Ayton soft.
Yes.
Yep. And chat, I know we all want college basketball back more. This is just holding us over. We need CBB back, folks. That is the king. NBA, but this is a crazy trade. And I'm very, very curious and excited to see how this new Bucks team meshes. I mean, that could be a new big 3, folks. Man. All right, let's keep moving and grooving, Javon. MLB entries. You want to recap these and go over some of them? How are we looking?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking. I don't want to jinx it, especially with, I guess, Paul Goldschmidt facing Wade Miley today. And, I mean, Jordan could be in a pretty decent spot too. But both of these entries are really just relying on both of those gentlemen to not hit, 5 and 6 or 5 and 7 home runs in these last couple of games the rest of the week. Got the final day of the regular season on Sunday. So we just need these guys to not be Barry Bonds. The rest of it is good. We got the right end, most of us at least, of the Shohei hook on the ERA. Corey Seager missing however amount of games and still soaring over his number is ridiculous. Daniel Bard, free square of the year. Shout out you for that one. And then BTL entry was just air, pretty much all the way through. We just need Jordan to finally tuck.
Let's fucking go, folks. Let's take a peep at these payouts. I want to check both of them out because I think one of the two is very fat. Oh, it's this one. Yep. Look at that puppy.
So we got 10, I think.
I mean, you deployed on that puppy.
Well, because I was initially going to drop just my own, but then we went in the spaces, and these were, except for like Otani ERA, I got swayed a little bit by Peter, but a lot of the stuff that we heard and a lot of the plays that I was going to put in anyway were those. So I was like, all right, well, I was going to throw my own entry and then a spaces entry, but realistically, they probably would have overlapped like 5 of the 6 here. So I was like, you know what? Let's double it and throw back. Sweat it.
And this will turn into a 5-geyser, right? So
Yeah,
it'll be a 10x piece.
10, yeah.
Okay.
If Goldie stays under, yeah.
Come on, Goldie. Don't do shit today, brother. Although, honestly, looking at that line, he might. And we'll get to that.
Yeah, today he might.
Especially after talking about that. Let's take a peep at the other entry real quick. I don't think that one was as much of a Javon Nuke piece, but I do want to take a peep at it out of respect.
This one I sneakily – this was our BTO one that I like forgot to place until literally seconds before the games were about to start. So, after deploying quite a bit on some other ones, this was kind of the leftover funds, but still gets the job done if Jordan stays. But, I mean, these are some of the freest squares on the board, minus Daniel Bard.
On. Daniel Baird. We got Brock D454 coming in hot with a sub bang 10 months. Bard was so free. Yes, it was. W comment, W sub bang, W Brock. Love it. Yeah, that square was free. That square does not get enough credit. Maybe the greatest prize pick square of all time. People are talking.
That's all we're saying.
All right, Javon. We're going to get to college football look-ahead lines and NFL look-ahead lines here in a moment, and then we're going to go over the MLB slate hard, and we're going to find prize pick squares, and you're going to give the people some winners. And I've also got a play that I love on the MLB slate, too, that we're going to get to. But first, all right, yesterday we did a little A.J. Brown steamed crab segment talking about those drops. You guys probably know what I'm going to be bitching about today. I am steamed up. This is absurd. I don't even know if it should be the Cubs. I don't know if it should be Seiya Suzuki. I don't know if it should just be baseball. But you know what, Javon? Let's go over this game from last night, because not only did the Cubs fold after the Guardians fold when I had a sneak nuke, so I was already pissed off at this point. The Cubs go up 6-0. Okay, in large thanks to Seiya. He was a main factor in this game. He balled. I think he had an RBI triple or 2 RBI triple, Javon. He was nuts. Yeah, here it is. Sure. Here's the RBI triple. Nice cash from that. Hits, runs, RBIs in the third, Javon. Seiya balling, carrying the Cubs. They go up 6-0. I'm feeling great about the prize picks entries. I'm feeling even better about the Cubs ML. And if the Cubs want to make the playoffs, this is a game they got to close out and win, folks. They're barely in as it is. They have to win this game. So they're up 6-0. Next thing you know, the moose shit appears. You knew it was coming. You didn't think it'd be flowing like this, though, folks. The Braves start creeping back. In the bottom of the 8th, 2 outs. A pop-up gets hit to right field, and guess who it is? Seiya Suzuki, and guess what he does? He drops the fucking ball. I have never seen a drop this bad all season. I don't know if I've seen a drop this bad in MLB history. If you're looking at the importance of it, that might have just cost the Cubbies a playoff chance. They bring in a stud from overseas. He balls. He gets hot. He carries the team. He's been raking on offense, Javon. And then he puts the nail in the coffin for the Cubby season. I mean, they flipped from a favorite to make the playoffs to an underdog after that fucking drop, Javon. That's how important you know it is, because that one will do it right there, folks. The Cubbies aren't going dancing, and they melted away their playoff chances harder than I've seen a lot of teams do it. And baseball is full of melts every single year. This is an all-time one from the Cubs. Seiya Suzuki dropped the ball, literally, and he dropped the ball in the Cubs season, Javon. I still cannot believe he didn't make that catch. I don't care if the sun was in his eyes. I don't care if he just overran it. I don't care if that ball had spin from hell on it. You make that play. You're an MLB player. Look at that. Mima could have caught that. What are we doing? So not only did that cost us, Cubs ML last night, and maybe it did help with the over there, but you know what, Javon? That just cost the Cubbies the season, and I hope they don't make the playoffs after that shit last night. I'm what's stuck here. The Cubs blowing that lead. I mean, my blood pressure is already rising right now just thinking about it. I cannot believe they blew that 6-0 lead last night when I told everybody the Cubs ML was my most confident play. That was moose shit. And the Cubbies don't deserve to go dancing. They are melters. Absolute melters. Fold them like a Dollar Tree lawn chair. Keep them out of the playoffs. They suck. They suck.
Yeah, they needed that one bad. I mean, they still have a pretty, I don't want to say clear, but they still control their own destiny. So it's not like they're done. But
no, they're going to find a way to fuck it up.
I mean, yeah, when you're in a game with a 6-year lead on the Braves, knowing that you have Jamison Tyone starting the next day and today, you better close out that game. But I mean, there's a lot of things that went wrong in that game for the Cubs, and that was the cherry on top. So can't say I was too upset about it.
Don't slander my team like that. It's one error. Well, you know what? That one error cost you a playoff spot. It will. Just wait. Yeah. Just wait. I would bet money on them missing the playoffs by half a game if I could. Somebody find me a line for that. That could be the squad ride for tonight. The Cubs are atrocious. I don't even fucking know, man. I don't know. Rudy, if you have any preseason NHL nukes, man, to get the Cubs coins back, please let me know, dude. Please let me know.
Give me all the backup squads, man.
100%. All right, let's pivot. Let's go talk about some college football and some NFL futures, folks. Some great games. Fruity 3 today's air. Fruits, can you text me the tweet? Or honestly, I can just look it up later. Don't even worry about it. I'll tell to that for a half you. I don't know if you've hit a parlay yet or a Fruity 3, but if you haven't, I definitely will tell. Canes, Habs, Oilers. Okay. Did this game start during the day or do I have some time? Let me know. And he already has hit one. I bet he has. The hockey goat. Javon, we've got some unbelievable college football and NFL games this weekend, man. I'm stoked. Let's start with Florida and Kentucky. Kentucky's a favorite against Florida. I guess it's not that surprising with how good they've looked this year and how Florida's been. But it's kind of weird seeing Florida as an underdog to a school they've historically owned. I know Kentucky broke that streak a couple of years ago, Javon, and they've actually won 3 of the last 5 meetings on a little 2-game win streak against Florida. So maybe law of averages coming into play here. Maybe Kentucky's the play, but that spread pulled back from 2.5 to 1.5. Javon, what are you thinking about this one?
Yeah, so that spread's starting to crawl back, which I don't love to see, but like I'm still standing on the fact that like I love Florida and what they've done so far this part of the season. And I remember this game that was absolutely hilarious. They should have lost this game in Kentucky too. But I don't think they're a ranked team. I think their resume to this point kind of looks like the facade of a ranked team because they did lose to a really good Utah team on the road when that was their first game of the season against a struggling offense, I guess, if you want to be nice about it, in Utah at that point. Then they beat Tennessee, who I also think is a very fraudulent team with Joe Milton at quarterback. So to this point, I think you're going to start to see Florida be just kind of a decent team floating around kind of the back end. I don't think they'll be in the top 25 very much longer. So, I mean, I do like Kentucky, but I'm going to keep an eye on the line.
Yep. I'm not opposed. I am definitely scared off a little bit by that line move, Javon. But Kentucky being a favorite in the spot, I don't care if they've won the last, 2 years in a row. Florida's ranked. If a team is a favorite against a ranked squad, that's already kind of a system play. And unless I absolutely hate the matchup, I'm probably going to be on Kentucky. Now, do I love that the spreads come back 2 points towards Florida? No. And if by kickoff, Kentucky's a very, very public favorite here in this spot, which I wouldn't be surprised with how electric their offenses looked, I'll probably stay off. But I'd still lean Kentucky. I wouldn't be betting the ranked team as an underdog in the spot.
Yeah, for sure.
Dubs. Let's keep moving and grooving here, folks. Great game at noon. USC versus Colorado. Javon, this game's at noon in Colorado, which means it's at, 10 a.m. local time?
Yeah.
For them, I believe.
So
and that also means that for USC, that's like they're playing at 9 a.m.
I mean, yeah, for Colorado too. I mean, it's an hour difference, maybe?
Yeah, that hour could be the difference. People are saying
it could be. I mean, I'm just saying it's early for both teams, which is stupid that they're doing that to get I assume it's big noon if they're putting it. Yeah.
Yes, it is. And they had to get special approval for it and everything, but they got it because they need that game on prime time. It's ridiculous.
So ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
the kids are probably pissed, I'm assuming, but they both got to play the same game, right? Both got to play the same game here. Maybe a little snooze fest first half under in this spot, Javon? If they're still wiping the crusties out of their eyeballs?
I'm good. I'm good on any unders. I like the over, to be honest with you. Despite
73.5.
Yeah, despite the, I don't know, early morning situation. It's just like I think Colorado's offense is going to do enough. Like they played an Oregon team who, like we talked about yesterday, like I think their front seven and defense in general, maybe not as much in the secondary, is a lot better than people realize. So, like, I don't think you're going to see Shedeur Sanders under nearly as much pressure against USC's defense that we've seen until this point be pretty god-awful in every aspect. But I do think they'll move the ball and they'll score. And maybe they backdoor cover this game. But, I mean, they're not stopping USC. So that's what I'd do there.
Okay. Looks like USC is undefeated ATS since 2016 when they have not covered a 20-plus point spread. Not saying that matters, but that's kind of the angle I liked in this game anyways. USC, that game last week against Arizona State, Javon, I'm telling you, they just did not look right. They're not going to be coming into this game, fat, happy, and complacent, especially against Colorado, a team who it's very clear now, every other Power 5 school wants to beat the living crap out of them. It's their everything, right? If that stuff was true about other coaches in college football feeding Oregon info to beat Colorado because they're tired of hearing all the hype, that is wild, if that's true, by the way.
That's such a bullshit rumor, man. I don't know why.
If that's true, that's crazy. Now, I will say that stuff happens all the time in football, and nobody really talks about it. But, I mean, anytime a player or coach from another team goes to somewhere else, they're getting the scoop on what's going on. They're getting the signals. And we've heard that a lot in the NFL this week, too. There's a couple players playing against their old squads, and some people are worried about signals. I think it's the Cowboys. Was that who it was? With Zeke?
Yeah, Zeke and Will Grier.
So it's a thing. I don't know if, coaches were calling up the Oregon head coach and saying, we got this info for you, but crazy shit.
What are they going to do?
Either way, though.
What are they going to do, though? Like, who's going to call them? Because there's been 3 teams that have played them. Like, are they going to call up Colorado State, TCU, and Nebraska, who all lost?
They could have called up Colorado State head coach.
I'm sure
he would have answered on the first round.
He probably would have answered. But, they put up 43, so they got or 40, whatever. I don't know how much he can tell them.
Maybe that was why Oregon succeeded. I don't know. Either way, though, give me the Trojans on the road here. I don't care if the spread is at 50. Once again, like we saw last week, Colorado's defense, not there yet. Their O-line, not there yet. USC's roster, too talented, just like Oregon. And they have a star QB who's going to torch up that defense. It's going to get ugly, folks. Give me USC. Give me the points.
For what it's worth, too. I mean, there's we talked all about, like, Bucky Irving and Oregon. Like, Bo Nix was going to do his thing. We all knew that. But, like, the run game was absolutely torching Colorado for every second of that game. USC's is better. So, good luck.
This game might get ugly.
Yeah.
It is at Colorado. That might help. Apparently, LeBron James will be there. Maybe he'll suit up and play tight end. This whole thing is ridiculous, man. It really is. All right. USC, I like. You've got the OVA.
Yeah.
We move. Let's go to Clemson and Syracuse. This is a slept-on game right here, Javon. I'm hearing a lot of Syracuse talk. Shout out P.O.D. Pete. A little too much for me. Not really surprised after Clemson folded like a Dollar Tree lawn chair in their last game, but they're still a -6.5 favorite, Javon. Early thoughts on this spot for the Tigers and Dabo after getting embarrassed at home last week to bounce back and take care of an undefeated Syracuse squad that's going to be very public.
Yeah, I'm good. I would square up with the public side here, if anything, in Syracuse +6.5. Only because, I mean, first of all, like, if we're back in Clemson, I refuse to do it until I watch their games and I say Garrett Riley is in full control of the play calling. That's the only time I'm touching them. Syracuse, like, defensively, they're going to put pressure on Cade Klubnik. They're going to make it so, like, honestly, a majority of the offense against Florida State and, like, anytime they've been successful is with Will Shipley, which this is, again, probably the best matchup so far for a defense against Will Shipley, despite what you see from what happened last year. Their front seven is pretty significantly improved, and they've been a lot better this season. So I'm not the biggest, like, Syracuse believer, but, again, this defense against Cade Klubnik and the half Dabo, half Garrett Riley offense, I'd be willing to back them.
Okay, I will stay off the Tigers. And yes, Cade Klubnik has zero clutch gene. The guy can't even hold a football in his hand when the pressure's at its highest. The dude was fumbling the ball in his own palm, Javon, on multiple throws in the fourth quarter last week. That's not the kind of guy you want your coins on. And Syracuse has done this before. People forget they upset the defending national champs at home only like 5 or 6 years ago at the Carrier Dome. So they're running it back this year. Let's see if they have some more magic left in the tank. Clemson is still overrated probably in the betting market, and they don't have winners on that squad. They don't.
Yeah, not the slightest.
All right, let's keep moving and grooving here. It's either Syracuse or stay off, chat. Kansas, Texas. This is a good one, Javon. What are you thinking about the Jayhawks going into Texas?
I think this is another fireworks type game where you see a lot of points, which the spread has started to climb back a little bit from 17 to 16.5 now. I can't really get a read on it, whether it's a little fatter than I would expect, but I do think Texas is going to start getting serious respect against a lot of these teams, which, I mean, we've started to see it, and not wrongfully so necessarily in the Big 12, but this is, I believe, the first time since I think it was 2 years ago, Kansas went into their house when they're obviously a much different team, and they won this game on a 2-point conversion in overtime, which is absolutely hilarious. This is when they're first starting their little incline there in the Big 12, and now they just might have reached their peak. So, I mean, the thing with this game is that, like, I don't think Kansas is going to be able to run the ball all that much efficiently on Texas defense. It's going to be on Jalen Daniels, and I kind of think they hang in this game. I think it'll be back and forth for a while. Maybe Kansas jumps out to a pretty early lead, and then Texas kind of settles into the game, but I don't think they'll be able to hold down the Kansas offense for the entire game. So probably a little lean to the Kansas side and the over.
Yeah, I will say that spread opening up at 20 was pretty fat, I thought, especially with Kansas having good success against Texas in recent history. But you know what? Like you said, Texas is back, just like the Yankees, very popular team. When they're good, they probably get a little more line respect than they should. And Texas is legit this season. So I wouldn't be shocked if maybe Kansas, who is a very public team already with that offense, and Jalen Daniels, would not be surprised if Texas steamrolls them. I do like the over in this game, though. Maybe a square over. Be back between these two high-powered offenses.
Don't forget, too, Red River is next week. So for Sandy,
talk about a look-ahead spot.
Look-ahead spot, yeah. That's probably, I mean, that could be a playoff game for all we know at this point.
100%, dudes. 100%. There's a couple look-ahead spots we're going to talk about today. That's one of them. We got another one coming up here, Georgia and Auburn. Javon, Georgia owns Auburn. They do. And there's been some chirps going around. I think the Auburn coach chirped a couple years ago, like 6 years ago. Yeah, here it is. Or no, this is the other tweet. But he chirped Georgia a couple years ago saying they owned him or something. And ever since then, they have not lost. Yeah, they're 6-0 since Coach Gus said we beat the dog crap out of Georgia. So I think Georgia kind of took that personally, and obviously Georgia's program's been on the incline since those games started. Now they're at the top of the totem pole there in college football. But I would not be shocked one bit, Javon, if this game gets nasty at Auburn. Not a program or team I want to be backing or putting my coins on a lot of weeks, but in this spot against Georgia, a team who, you know, before the last couple of years, they did have good success. I think it's too many points to give the home team here. And I'm willing to get nasty with an Auburn squad who plays a Georgia team who's number one in the country. But who the heck has Georgia played, man? And I'm not saying Auburn's good, but I am saying Hugh Freeze is a good coach. And I'm willing to bet him to keep this one within, 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I kind of agree. It feels like one that lands kind of in that 10 to 14 range. And I don't know if I'll be backing Auburn, maybe an under here. It'd be more my play, but I am the biggest Auburn hater of all time because I've watched them this year, and I think they're atrocious, especially offensively. Defensively, they're pretty solid, and it's probably going to be the most well-rounded unit they've seen to this point. Georgia has. So I do think Auburn kind of sticks in this game, and I think what we're sitting Wednesday, the fact that it's already touching 14 for 14.5 and probably going to see 13.5 very soon in the next, coming day or two, I would guess. It's pretty significant, but this is going to be an ugly game from both sides. I don't believe in either offense.
100%. And that's crazy because it was at 14.5 about an hour ago.
Yeah,
now we're already seeing it at 14. So who knows what that'll close at? Probably within 2 touchdowns, like Javon was saying. So maybe you get in now on Auburn if you're going to place them this week, if you're super confident, because you're probably not going to get a better line. And that's some sharp movement. Who the heck's betting on Auburn right now to move that line? Nobody. Maybe a handful of dudes who are respected at the books and moving that line. No way
Yeah.
they're public. No chance. All right, let's keep moving and grooving here. We've got LSU and Ole Miss, Javon. This should be a good one. And I'll be honest, I want to take Ole Miss at home with the points against LSU. Where's your head at in this game? Maybe I just want to fade Brian Kelly's corny ass, but I want to fade the Tigers on the road here and back Ole Miss.
Kind of good backing Ole Miss in this game, to be honest with you. I think you're potentially selling, I don't want to say LSU at their lowest spot, because I think that would have obviously come like right after the FSU game, but I don't think many are believers now after we've seen that. They started to come back 2 weeks ago where they dominated Miss State. I mean, I even kind of bought in as like, okay, this team just might be backing out for blood. Then they came and I don't want to say laid an egg last week, but that's a game that they should have won a lot easier than they did. So now I think they go on the road and get a big win against Ole Miss. I specifically think like Jaden Daniels in the run game against an Ole Miss defense who can't control any sort of quarterbacks. I mean, any defense with a running quarterback or offense with a running quarterback causes a problem for that defense. He's going to run wild. So, like, matchup-wise, I think they have the clear advantage. Is it laying 2.5 on the road? Something it's my favorite to do? No, but I'm not an Ole Miss believer. I'll tell you that much.
Wow.
The defense is going to be a death of them.
You're not a Jackson Dart guy who's been looking pretty sharp?
I don't mind Jackson Dart, but, I mean, again, who's he look sharp against? Like,
Yeah,
Tulane?
that's fair. Although, let's not act like LSU's secondary is good. They're not.
It's not good, but he also hasn't been – Jackson Dart hasn't faced a team that's consistently pressuring him either. So
Yeah.
the front seven, LSU's front seven is certainly good. I mean, I don't think they're going to go out there and hold Jackson Dart in the offense to 14 points or anything, but it'll be a little different. I think it's going to be LSU with a lot of explosive plays in this game, which is not a hot take because Ole Miss gives those out like candy. But I don't think they'll be able to stop Daniels.
You think LSU's defense is better than Bama's?
No, not necessarily. But I think their offense, it certainly is.
Yes, without a doubt.
Yeah.
5 times as much. Yeah, 100%. But good thing Ole Miss can score, especially at home.
They can.
They can keep up with them. I'll take the points. I guess we'll disagree on this one, but I do like the Baby Blues at home at Ole Miss. We'll see, though. I never like taking Ole Miss. They're always pretty trendy, even as an underdog. But in this spot, I think I have to.
Fair enough.
All right, let's keep moving. We got a couple more college games, and we got a couple NFL here, folks. Let's go to South Carolina and Tennessee. And wow, would you look at that? Top QBR, Jackson Dart. Respect. Although not the best quarterbacks in that division this season, but sheesh.
Spencer
tip your cap to
Sanders is
that.
up there too.
Yeah, that's how you know the SEC's QBs are miss. It's so crazy. The Pac-12 has all these QBs, and the SEC doesn't have really even one. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. The Jen said I took LSU first half here. BK usually has his team intact on the road, especially before weak secondary gets gassed. Okay.
I would be a little scared if it was a weak secondary that didn't have probably a weaker one on the other side.
Yeah. We got a sub bang from Agsters coming in hot. 3 months. Newbie. W Agsters. Stick around. Find some winners. Javon, let's talk about South Carolina, Tennessee real quick. Not a lot of people know this, but Coach Beamer actually used to coach and went to Tennessee back in the day, Javon. Look at that. He's got some hair on his head still. And a VT legend, that family is. It's probably the only reason I know this. But he has good success against Tennessee, Javon. They beat Tennessee last year, 63-38, I believe. It was a destructive game. Unbelievable win. Very impressive. Now, do we fade that angle? And do we take Tennessee at home in this spot, laying some serious points? I think they're minus 12.5.
I don't want to take Tennessee.
Okay.
But I don't know. Where is that's the side you're leaning because of that?
Yeah, it does.
Fair. I don't know. This game reminds me, obviously Tennessee is not Georgia, but it reminds me a lot of that game. Like I think both defenses, I don't know if it's just going to be bad offenses, but that's what my gut is telling me, that both defenses are going to be a little better than we've seen them be to this point in the season. And you're going to get a lot of slow, kind of long, drawn-out drives where South Carolina is able to keep it close. We'll see how explosive they can be against Tennessee's defense, because really anybody should be able to. and Spencer Rattler looked really good last week, and I'm expecting a little more of the same, but I don't know. I have a good feeling about South Carolina's defense this week against Joe Milton and that offense.
Yeah, I'm trying to see how public it is because I have a feeling that they're going to be relatively public. Carolina is. Yeah, they are, but they have some sharp splits. 60% of bets, 77% of handle right now per Bisson on South Carolina. Now it's still early. It's midweek. I need to see where the late square tickets come in, but I would be shocked if Tennessee ends up being a public favorite here at home in the spots. Yeah. I like the line movement from the original opening line. I think it might be the Vols here. Don't love this game now.
You convince me.
Don't love this game. Let's see what that line does, and let's see where the splits end up. Okay, because if they end up closing to 14 or something like that, I might have to bet the Vols.
Yeah, I would buy for that.
Even with my Milton less than yards ticket, I might still have to take them.
You should pair that with SMU down there, minus 23.5.
Sure.
Super good.
You like the Mustangs this week, huh?
I do like SMU a lot. Which, I mean, they're coming off of – they just lost their Super Bowl against TCU, the only game that makes them relevant every season. They got destroyed against the worst TCU team they've seen in a couple of years. And then Charlotte just went into the swamp and hung with a shouldn't-be-ranked Florida team. So I think this is a SMU stomp fest. I think they win by 35.
Wow. Chad, Javon texted me yesterday and said he might have a nuclear missile whale play. And it may or may not have been the Mustangs. All right, a little sneak peek here. This is why you guys watch BTL. You guys get the inside info. All right, let's keep moving and grooving. We got to power through these last couple. Let's go to Notre Dame and Duke. Probably the game everybody's talking about. I believe this is game day. First time game day is going to Duke. I'm not really surprised to hear that, but if only somebody talked about this team before the season and gassed up Duke and their coach and then returning all their players and a guy named Riley Leonard, who reminds me a lot of Daniel Jones, maybe even better. This kid is a stud. He is unbelievable, and he's carrying this team. Look, it's not going to be easy, Javon. Talk about a letdown spot for Notre Dame, or I guess talk about a bounce-back spot for Notre Dame after blowing that game with only 10 defenders on the field for the last 2 plays. I'd be shocked if they don't come into this game fired up in this spot, and I'm hearing a lot of Duke talk. Here's the 2 things I'm hearing in this game. The first thing I'm hearing is, well, how the heck is Duke only getting 5.5 points in this spot as the line continues to move towards Duke? I'm also hearing a lot of Duke love, and I'm not hearing a lot of Irish love. Not surprising. Recency bias, Javon. Notre Dame blew that game last week. Nobody wants to bet on them after watching that. Do you think the Irish come in, though, to Duke in their first game day, a college basketball school, not a football school, and they teach them a lesson and beat them up a little bit, and maybe we take the Irish as a favorite on the road here? What are you thinking?
Yes. I do think it's the time to take the Irish.
Let's fucking go.
The big thing is I'm not going to sit up here and act like Riley Leonard is a bad quarterback. But when you go up against this front seven, the one thing that Ohio State had on Notre Dame, not that they're significantly better, but they hung with them in the trenches. I don't think Duke can do that, especially like defensively. This is going to be the best front seven, I think, that Duke has faced all year. You can argue Clemson because that's the one spot this season where they've been relatively similar, but I still think Notre Dame is significantly better on both sides of the ball in the trenches. So this is going to have to be a game where Riley Leonard is going to win it with his arm, which he really hasn't had to do yet this season because, in the Clemson game, they dominated. They did a lot on the ground game there. But this is a really good secondary for Notre Dame. The defense as a whole unit has been absolutely nails this season. Benjamin Morrison is, I still think, a top 2, maybe the best corner in college football. So he's going to have to win this game with his arm. Then on the other side, I haven't been convinced with Duke's run defense. Clemson dominated them in the run game. Even honestly, in that game where they were trailing by a lot last week, UConn looked really good in the run game against them too. What do you think is going to happen when you have one of the best offensive lines in college football and Audric Estime going up against this team, which honestly, you know as well as I do, this team almost plays better on the road because Notre Dame Stadium it's a bunch of 70-year-old boomers that get very quiet watching a game. So on the road, they get fired up there, and that's kind of been a staple for Notre Dame teams. So I think they run down their throat. I think the offense really shows out in this game. The defense is not really going to have to do all that much.
Audric Estime legacy game, huh?
Yeah. I think it's going to be like DeAndre Swift against the Vikings, which, a lot of that A lot of that didn't really have to do with him. It was a lot just because of the O-line making gaping holes every single time he touched the ball. It's probably going to be pretty similar in terms of like estimate. He's not going to have to run over guys like he's done, 90% of the time this season. That O-line is going to dominate.
Okay. Back the Irish on the road when Duke is turning out to be a kind of a trendy dog here, folks. All right. Yeah, Riley Leonard, he could beat you on the ground. Maybe he could beat you in the air if he gets lucky. But he's probably not beating Notre Dame in the air. All right, come on.
No, it'll be a tough task. Tough task,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's hop. We got one more college game, I believe. Washington and Arizona. Javon, any quick thoughts on the Huskies in the spot?
I mean, this is another massive look-ahead spot. I'll say that, with one of the biggest games of the college football season looming at home for Washington against Oregon next week. But, I mean, this also seems to be a little bit of a, I don't want to say trend, but you see this every now and again when these Washington or top teams in the Pac-12, whenever they go to the desert in these sleepy games, something weird happens, which, I mean, with last week in USC, that almost happened against an Arizona State team who was down a multitude of guys on both sides of the ball. And is just an overall bad football team. Arizona's a little better. They can hang with them defensively. As good as, I guess you can say, Washington's offense looked last week against Cal, I felt worse about their secondary after watching that game. So I don't know. This is tough. They do have, like you're saying, like this is a weird spot where you have, a week off looming before Oregon. So I would say Arizona probably sticks their head in this game. I don't think they win or make it as close as USC, but maybe sneak in like we were hoping Cal would.
Rumor has it Washington might have a bye week in between there, though.
Yeah, they got a week before the Oregon game.
Okay. So maybe it won't be too much of a look-ahead spot. But either way, I'm definitely not taking Washington on the spreads with how dominant they've looked. Are you kidding me? You're going to buy high on that team right now? Can they get any better? I don't know, but that spread is fat. I'll take the points with Arizona and a decent QB at home. I'm with you. Trayce pace knock. Let's go. Let's fucking go, Trayce. Trayce bang, bitch. Let's fucking go, folks. Talking NBA, talking Dame Lillard. We should have been talking Klay Thompson and his brother, who just clutched up. Let's go, Trayce. That's what I'm talking about, folks. Great start for today. I want to know if anybody locked that one in. I know Chat didn't feel too confident about it back in Trayce Thompson. But you know what?
No.
That shit's great. Bang.
Is that the first hit of the
Now
game,
we just
too?
need Michael A. Come on,
Michael A. Tater.
Come on, Michael A. Wouldn't want to have it come down to anybody else. Michael A's down. Okay.
It's the go.
John, let's power through NFL, and then we're going to get to MLB plays. We're going to go over all the games, Chat. Don't you worry. But let's talk a little bit about some of these NFL games on Sunday, and let's go ahead and start with Denver and Chicago. All right, Javon. Denver laying 3.5 in the spot on the road. Both these teams are moose shit. The Bears probably even more, although I don't really know how because the Broncos just gave up 70 points. Javon, looks like the Broncos are one of the most heavily bet teams so far of the week. Not shocked to hear that, I guess, because it's Russell Wilson and Sean Payton versus Justin Fields, who looks terrible, and coaches who are quitting. And if they're still there, they're terrible. So not shocked. And I hate to say it, but you guys probably know what's about to come out of my mouth here. Give me the Bears. Give me the points. Give me Justin Fields at home. I'm going to take the 3.5, go about my day, close my eyes, not follow that game, and check the score afterwards because it's going to be nasty. But you know what, Javon? Is the ML even a better look? Because if the Bears are going to do something in this spot, they're probably either going to win this game outright or they're just going to keep being absolutely terrible and lose this game by 20. Is the ML a better look, you think? Or are you going to be taking the 3.5 points potentially?
I'd grab the hook with the 3.5. Okay. I mean, in this game, there's so many question marks, like on both sides of, both these teams, but also both sides of the ball. We have two defenses that have been absolutely terrible. So, in theory, any offense should be able to work against both these defenses. But you also have two offenses, or at least one offense of the Bears that's really struggled. The Broncos offense is such a question mark. It's looked good so far this season, but we'll see how it kind of holds up over a full sample size of games. But yeah, I would grab the hook with the Bears if I had to do anything here. I do think Justin Fields will look a lot more comfortable in this game. Maybe use his legs more, but also, I don't know, go against the secondary. No, he's not playing. Dude, why is he not playing? Oh, my God, man. That's so much piss.
Can you confirm?
Pitch kick. I'm looking.
Can you try to check the lineups real quick?
Who's even playing for him?
Come on.
There's
Castro
no shot.
starting?
Castro is crazy. Crazy.
So how does that play out? We get
Yes, that's how it
1.5x
plays
and go about our day, or is that just a voided entry or what?
I think void.
Oh. Push bang. Are we
Push
just getting
bang.
a push chats? Are they just giving us our coins back? Come on. I think it's 1.5 though.
Maybe.
My gut's telling me it's 1.5. I have 1.5. Okay. Let's go, Pega. All right. Oh, no, it's a
We'll
void.
see.
Okay.
Oh,
All
well.
right.
GG's.
Okay. Golly, man. Blazers looking
Hang
to
'em
trade
up.
Drew Holiday.
Ooh.
Interesting. DMP
That's
on
a-
two
that's
layers
a-
of voids.
It's an even bigger dub for the Blazers. And yeah, GG, Michael A. Man. What are we doing?
Dude, that is so beat.
That's so pissed. Pissed, man. So pissed.
Yeah, Spreads and Bets is right. I was thinking about a push.
Yeah, push was one of them.
Chat, we'll get you guys another entry. That one really stinks.
Dude,
We'll get you
Willie
guys another
Castro is crazy. Like, why is he playing?
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe Michael A. Taylor's hurt. Maybe Michael A. Taylor just wants to watch his old teammate Patrick Corbin pitch tonight and get 10 strikeouts. That could be it.
Maybe, yeah. They're having a watch party down there. They invited
That could
everybody.
be it. All Nationals alumni Jason Worth. I heard he's the one actually hosting the thing.
Yeah,
Jason
there you
Worth
go.
and all the Emma Roche, all the goods. All right, that's just rat. Absolute
That's
rat.
so much rat. So much rat. But
All right, Baltimore, Cleveland. Let's power through these NFL games, Javon. Interesting line here. I'm hearing a lot of Raven slurpage in this spot, saying, oh, they're going to bounce back here. Nobody wants to back Deshaun the ball again. Well, the Ravens injury report's going to be about a CBS receipts length once again this week. And I think I want to go with your guy, Deshaun Watson, Javon. Nobody clipped that, but I want to back him in this spots. Maybe we just square up for Kitch and go ML once again, like we did last week. But I think they get a win here against the Ravens, who seem to be already a public dog.
yeah, I'm not going to go ML in the spot, though. I'm going to take the spread. I don't think it's going to be any in between for them. Like, I think the Ravens, when they come out and they perform well as an underdog, they just win outright. So I'm not even going to mess with that. I think if the Browns win, it's by a touchdown plus, in my opinion.
Okay.
So I'm not scared to lay the spread there. If you get a push on the 3 or it ends up in between, I'll chalk it, whatever. But yeah, we'll see. Deshaun against this defense, it's going to be a little tougher of a task against a better front seven, but in the secondary, a lot banged up. So we'll see.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, Javon, if I could pick what the splits would be looking like right now, it might be pretty close to what the Browns are showing me. The Ravens are getting 60% of bets and handle on the ML. Beautiful public dog. Love that. But then you look over at the ML, and hopefully these numbers go down a little bit by kickoff. But right now, the Browns are getting 50% of bets on the spread, but 79% of handle. Big boy bets coming in on the Browns. And it's early this week.
Yeah. I will say, though, that there's a lot of you'll see a lot of sharp money coming against teams when injuries are about to be announced. So that usually happens kind of in any sport. So I'll wait to hold out judgment on that one.
Okay. Krabs, where'd you get that hat? This is a Freezer Tarps hat. You guys know Freezer Tarps on TikTok? Morgan Walzer. Yeah, that kid's fucking hilarious. So I copped it from his sites. Go check out his socials. Support the community. W's. Genie Supreme 16 coming in hot with a sub bang. Morning, gents. Let's have a day. 2-piece today. Rays, Rangers, ML. Sunday, Steelers. Let's have a day. All right, Genie Supreme. Javon, Rays, Rangers, ML.
Rays, I like today. Rangers, I mean, like they should win, but it's a big question mark there.
Yeah. All right. And rumor has it Ravens players might be coming back this week. Was that what you were highlighting over there?
I didn't do that, but
Okay.
I don't know.
Dudes, come in here and give us the Ravens report. Let's hear it.
doubt with that move from 2.5 to 3 that you're going to see any exciting things as a Ravens fan come a couple days when you see who's on the injury report.
All I got to say is that just wait. I mean, they're winning this game, no doubt. They're not going to lose to the Colts and then show up and lose to the Browns. Fuck no.
W. Goods, thank you for confirming exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Good work.
There you go.
Goods, please don't nuclear missile whale play your Ravens this week. Man.
I don't like betting on my teams. I feel like I cause some problems every time I do it. So I'm just going to sit back, enjoy, and watch a W.
I bet, Goods. W. We'll see, my man. We'll see. At least somebody's winning. But yeah, Goods, huge Baltimore fan chat. So if anybody in here is an Orioles fan or Ravens fan, you're boys with Goods. All right, as you should be. Let's keep moving here, Javon. It's going to be the Browns. It's got to be in that spot. I'm so with you. Let's talk about Cincy and Tennessee here real quick. Javon, the Bengals did enough in that game. They looked much better in the second half. Are you willing to maybe lay it here when everyone's probably going to be on the Titans in this spot in another public dog scenario?
Are they going to be a public dog?
Let's check it out. I feel like all I'm seeing on my feed is everyone talking about how bad Joe Burrow looks and how bad the Bengals are. And they're definitely not a public dog right now. Actually, the Titans splits are literally perfect. 20% of bats, 45% of handle.
I mean, I was thinking, I think everybody's out on the Titans at this point, especially after watching last week. I mean, they got embarrassed by the Browns.
Yeah.
And despite how, injured Joe Burrow looked, that game sucked. It was on prime time. They won the game. They came back and they did what they needed to do. So, this kind of screams like a short little favorites or short dog spot for the Titans at home to me. A little variable masterclass.
Okay. They're wearing the all blues.
The all blues could be the difference.
Tennessee's a disgrace. All right. A couple more of those comments and I'll be in there with you. All right, Javon. Maybe it is. Don't overthink it. Back for Abel. He said he would chop his Johnson off to win a Super Bowl. That's the kind of coach you want your coins on. Plain and simple.
100%.
Don't even overthink it. Just leave it at that. All right. Miami Buffalo. This is a game I definitely wanted to talk about. We got Miami putting up a 70-burger hold to fry. And yeah, Buffalo's been playing great the last 2 weeks. Can we even count the game against the Commanders? Jesus Christ, we're not going to go into that. But the Bills are now -3 after I think opening up 2.5, or at least that's where they were the last couple of days. That line keeps moving and grooving. You're going to be seeing a lot of squares coming out betting on the Dolphins on the road after seeing them put up a 70-piece. I want to fade that offense after putting up an absolute clinic no matter what. I don't care who they're playing. They could be playing Virginia Tech football, and I'd be backing them on the spread. I don't give a hoot. Go ahead and fade the Dolphins this week, and you're probably going to make coin. It's as simple as that. A team doesn't go put up a 70-piece and then cover the next week. They don't.
Especially when they're getting their number 2 option back on offense too, going into Buffalo, a team who, getting Jalen Waddle back in all likelihood, and it's already a pretty public spot for them. So it feels pretty mandatory. You're not going to see
mandatory.
Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane put up 700 yards and 9 touchdowns again. Again, it's that Bills front 7. Good luck.
Side note. You think Arcane is worth the bench spot in fantasy?
Maybe he is, but I still think if you're picking somebody up right now, it should be Jeff Wilson.
Ooh.
The thing you have on your side with him, with Achane, is Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert are both made of glass. But
yes,
if you get one of the options, I think Jeff Wilson is still going to be the number 2 option. It's just a question of if he can come back healthy and stay healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Arcane has a window here where if Wilson doesn't play this week and Arcane has another legacy day, I think maybe that RB2 spot could be at least split between those two guys, if not just given to Arcane by his legacy back-to-back performances. But, what are the odds he puts those numbers up again? And I'm sure the game plan all week against the Bills is going to be limit the big plays, and that's what Arcane does. So you're probably right. Maybe this guy traded Mostert and Hawkinson yesterday for Hawkinson. Damn. That's a good-ass trade.
I don't hate that at all.
Huh. Hawkinson's been great. My goodness.
Yeah, he's going to continue to be great because Kirk is going to be throwing 70 times a game.
Yep. He might end up breaking the record for most touchdowns and passing yards in the season and not going to win. Something like that. All right. Javon, talk about their Commanders. Are we really taking them this week, man? What are we doing?
Don't we have to, dude?
Yeah, we have to. I want to hear your opinions, though, before I give my biases. What do you got?
I mean, I think people are finally starting to realize that the Eagles aren't going anywhere. It's not like, I guess, earlier in the season. I mean, they looked human. Not to say they didn't, like this week, too. I mean, Jalen Hurts didn't look fantastic. I'll say that. A.J. Brown looked great, though. The run game, DeAndre Swift, everybody's starting to catch on to that now, with just going behind the best offensive line in football. So no shocker, he's going to be great in this offense. But yeah, after prime time, a little destruction public spot against the Bucs. The Eagles have squeaked out a couple wins here and there early in the season with the Patriots and Vikings. Now they got a blowout spot. They're just finding ways to win football games. And that Sam Howell is coming off of a welcome to the NFL moment against the Bills, which was disastrous. So, I mean, this screams to me like, I mean, it just looks like there's no way on paper that Sam Howell does not have a disaster class. And yes, this is Eagles by murder is kind of the consensus publicly here.
Commanders O-line, worst in football. Eagles pass rush, best in football. I bet. Why would they even play the game then, folks? Also, yeah, this is also definitely a red flag. Go ahead and throw it. Sam Howell never had a bite of steak in his life. Thoughts, Javon?
Good luck.
Can we trust this guy?
It's not my quarterback.
Does this look like the QB of the future? I don't know, man.
Yeah, GG's.
I don't know, man. I can't believe the Barstool guys got him to say he would eat a bite of steak, though. That's honestly hysterical.
That is crazy.
But, dude, this is our franchise QB. The guy only eats McDonald's chicken nuggets. What are we doing? He's never even had seafood.
It's got to be so much better. Crap. So much better.
Sam Howell, man. I need you to pick it up, bro. And, yeah, bad games are going to happen. All jokes aside, I think Sam Howell is in the same spot he was the week before. I think he's going to have terrible games. I think he's going to have great games. And I think as long as, the latter outweighs the former, towards the end of the season, he will still be our guy. He is so electric and has that big arm and can make big plays. He's got to figure out how to play good against a good team like the Bills and not throw 4 interceptions, a couple of them right to the defenders, like he was trying to throw it to them. That was a wake-up call. If he doesn't bounce back and look a little bit better against an Eagles defense, guys, an Eagles secondary that at least looks a little bit beatable, you guys can at least give me that. The Eagles secondary is not impressed really much. Their D-line is good, I know, but these teams know each other like the back of their hands. I'm sure Ron Rivera, even though he's not the greatest coach, they'll have some way, somehow, to get Sam Howell at least some protection in this spot. And these games are always weirdly close. And the Manders have had good success on the road in Philly recently, actually. I think they've won a couple of those last games outright. So the Manders are definitely a live dog here. Complete overreaction to last week. And like you said, to start this off, Javon, the Eagles are just not that team this year. Yeah, they're undefeated. But have they really impressed anybody? They haven't impressed me.
Yeah. Can't say they've impressed me too much. I mean, they skated by, which I can't blame them for playing a close game against Bill Belichick week 1 in the rain. That's kind of something that anybody else would do. But against a Vikings team and a Vikings defense where they're running for 75 yards a carry, that game still ended up being a 6-point game. And then against the Bucs, they kind of did what they needed to do. But again, that secondary was tough to watch. I mean, they're injured quite a bit, but that's not getting solved this week. So I don't know.
A couple of our best players on defense last week were sick, including Cam Curl, who played through it, and he looked like he had the flu. So maybe there were a couple other guys out there because that defense did not look like the dust-up Del Rio defense that we know and love in D.C. I think they bounce back this week against the rival and at least keep this game close within a touchdown. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Eagles do what they've been doing all season, and that's barely skate by and pull out an unimpressive win here at home against the Manders. And you guys can say my bias is showing, but Javon said the same shit, and every word that came out of my mouth was factual. If you can't hear that, then maybe you shouldn't be in here anyways. All right?
Yeah.
Let's keep
moving.
Javon.
I don't think they're a live dog, but I think this is could be a touchdown game at the end.
Okay. They're a live spread on the dog.
Live spread, yeah.
Sure. All right. Yeah, the Commanders stink. 100% chats. They do after one bad game. We'll see how they do this week. If plays like the Eagles -8.5 covered, they wouldn't play the games. They wouldn't even have spreads up. It'd be too easy. All right. One more game, Javon, then we're doing baseball. I wanted to touch on Kansas City and the Jets really quick. Any thoughts on this spread? 9.5.
I mean, if you've seen all of the tweets out about how much money is on the Chiefs.
Is there a correlation between that and Travis Kelce dating Taylor Swift? Because I swear to God, if there is, I'm going to explode.
I mean, if the Swifties are out here going to the concert, then putting 5 units on Chiefs -9.5, I'd be a little surprised. I think that's just people looking at this game and saying, hey, Zach Wilson is bad at what he gets paid to do. And the Chiefs are good.
Okay. Maybe the Swifties downloaded the sports books and used the promos for the first time. They could have.
Yeah. Maybe they got little DK promos for the Eras tour.
Honestly.
Spamming news out there, man.
Guys, this is the last time we're going to talk about these two people, or we'll probably talk about Travis Kelce playing football at some point, but it's the last time we're going to mention Taylor Swift on this show. But I had to show you guys this tweet because it's really making me lose thought of what 2023 in the world is. This tweet, just a picture of Taylor Swift eating chicken tenders. We'll scroll down, you'll see them, and some ranch. This tweet got 30 million impressions of her eating chicken tenders at a game. 31 million. It's going up still. What the fuck are we doing, guys? Why does this matter? I don't get it. Get this shit off my feet. I don't give a hoot if she's eating chicken tenders. Why is this shit blowing up so much? It's more annoying than the Colorado gas. I'd rather hear people talking about Deion Sanders being the greatest coach of all time. I'd literally rather hear that.
I'm praying they do something exciting this weekend to take our feeds minds off of that.
Golly. I don't give a hoot if she's eating chicken tenders with ketchup and ranch. Who gives a shit? Who cares? Do fans of Taylor Swift even want to see this stuff? Or are people just acting like they care? I don't get it at this point, man. I don't get it.
Wild.
All right. Can we talk about some baseball plays for today? We got to get the people some winners.
Yeah, we can talk about some baseball.
Dubs. We got 16 games today, including a doubleheader, I believe, Javon. We don't have to go over every single one. There's probably some new shit games that we're not going to have plays in, but take us through the slate rapid fire. We could start with Miami and New York. That one starts up here in a few, I think. What do you like in that game?
Yeah, first game of a doubleheader. Probably lean under. I think it's going to be a pretty sleepy game. Joey Lucchesi is not a guy that I love to back, but against the Marlins, he has kind of this weird matchup. I believe that's who we're getting, Lucchesi and Braxton Garrett. I could be wrong there. I think it's going to be a pretty sleepy game. I'm hoping the Marlins don't win, but holding out hope. Maybe they win this one because they do have Kodai Senga starting game 2 at home. So I would probably say it's Marlins game 1, hopefully Mets game 2. But again, I don't want to get involved in these games. I will get involved with the Rays today, though, which I hate getting involved post. I don't know what that was yesterday. Their B team lineup coming up and making Tanner Houck look like the worst pitcher ever. Now it's a little bit better. I guess you could say today, plus a lot of them have actually seen Brian Bayo and been pretty successful a good amount. So I do think they get to him a little bit today. Not too much because, I mean, it is a 7.5 total game in Boston, which you don't see that all that often. So I do think you get to him. Glasnow pitches okay, well enough to get into the bullpen. And by that point, I think the Rays have the pretty clear advantage. And, yeah, I know no Yandy again, which I'm perfectly good with that. But, yeah, I would go Rays here.
Do you want to back Glasnow on prize picks at all, like on his fantasy score? I know his squares were looking pretty good for him today. Like he's going to have a decent outing.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't really like backing Glasnow on the road. I really don't, especially in Boston. But
okay,
yeah, if the Rays are going to win this game, it's going to have to be them touching up Bayo. So, I mean, Glasnow is going to give up a couple maybe, but they need the bats. That's all I need.
Okay. Dubs, Rays on now. We move. Take us to Cleveland, man.
You going to do it again?
Are you going to bet the Reds again?
No. Fuck no.
I'm not betting the Guardians again either after that shit last night. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean,
Are you kidding
so
me?
basically how this is playing out, the Reds need to pretty much maximum lose one game out of the last 4 they have. This one and then 3 against the Cardinals.
Oof.
So this one scares me, especially considering Andrew Abbott on the bump has dead arm and he's still pitching through it. Yes, his arm is literally dead. And he's pitching through it, and this is a Guardians team who does not strike out. The times where he's looked kind of good, even through the dead arms, when he's played teams that strike out quite a bit, and they're still whiffing at him just because he has good stuff. The Guardians ain't whiffing, man. So I'm scared. I'm very scared. Shane Bieber has come back from injury too. I think he's had 1 start before this, but
He got kind of rocked. Yep.
he got kind of rocked, and he got pulled a little early in that game. And I don't know what his leash is going to be like today in this game, but I can tell you one thing against the Reds, there's probably going to be plenty of swing and miss in that lineup. I'm hoping that maybe there's some offensive momentum that they can pull from last game. Ellie's got a new bat that he's hitting nukes with or something.
Doesn't matter,
yeah.
bro. It's
crap
Coach
like
Tito's last game, Javon. It does
They
not matter.
all hate him. They all hate him, dude.
Are you serious?
Yes, they all hate him. They've wanted him out for like 2 years, maybe more.
That's fucked up. He's a ledge.
I mean, he is, but he's kind of a dog shit manager. But
Really?
yeah, I mean, I can't get myself to take the Reds today. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I'll be rooting from the sidelines.
Stay away.
Yeah, and I'll
Take
like
us to Baltimore.
Baltimore. Patty Corbin legacy game.
Chat. If you don't know and you're watching BTL, you probably live under a rock or maybe you're new, but I guess we'll flash the 6-piece up here. Javon, we got one last chance, brother. Patty, I'm going to need you to do something you haven't done in a while, and that's get 10 strikeouts, my man. $13,000 on the line, folks. It's not going to be easy. I still cannot believe that I put that square in that entry. I cannot believe I did that. There's probably 5 other squares I could have put in that I liked. And I'll be honest with you, Javon, I liked a weird amount of season-long entry squares, and those shits are green. Not this one. I can't believe it really be your own. Patrick Corbin, we're going to need 10. Javon, is there any fucking chance that we see a vintage 2019 Patty Ice 10 strikeout performance from the lefty against the Orioles?
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't hold your breath about a chance he gets 10. I would not be surprised, though, if, I mean, the last couple of times we've seen him with like 3.5, 4 lines, and he pops up with like 6 or 7. It's sometimes a couple more there. I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of those games. Like, I do think he pitches pretty well, but yeah, 5 or 10 is kind of out of the conversation, in my opinion. I would love to be extremely wrong about that. That's exactly what he said, looking at that.
I tweeted out at Corbin chat. He obviously hasn't. I don't think he's responded yet. I feel like my phone would be getting blown up. But yeah, he probably picked up his phone, saw that, because I told everybody to at Patrick Corbin in the mentions. And chat, feel free to do it too. We still got some time before first pitch. But he probably picked up his phone, saw the notice, and goes, "This motherfucker really thinks I'm getting 10 against the O's? You kidding me?"
Yeah.
I mean, chat, Corbin, I've talked about it a little bit. Yes, he's better this season. I'll try to keep him in as long as I can. No promises. W, Dave, I appreciate it. Thank you. As we get a Don't Fade sub bang to the community, helping out somebody, and we got a KX Let 'em sub bang as well. W's, gents, I appreciate it. Javon, maybe Patrick Corbin goes out there and is just angry as shit. Maybe he goes out there and just evolves back into his 2019 self. I don't know, but he is on a downward spiral towards the end of the season. He's had ups and downs this year. He was actually okay at times in the first half, but he's given up 3 runs in the first inning every single fucking start. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets up another 3-piece against the Orioles in this spot at home. It's going to get ugly. He's not getting 10 Ks. But you know what, chat? I'm going to have to tune in and check it out because I still believe. And I wouldn't say
this is the thing. Like,
dead yet.
I think he pitches well, and this is why. Like, I don't think he goes out there and throws like 7 shutout or anything, but we talked about this with Wainwright. These kind of older veteran pitchers against a very young, aggressive team, which it's a little – oh, Jesus Christ. Of course he does. But, yeah, he's a veteran pitcher that is going to make them maybe take advantage of their aggressiveness a little bit. So, like, I think he's going to pitch well. I think that's why we're seeing a 7.5 total in this game. So I wouldn't be shocked. Again, I don't think he's going to throw 7 shutout, or he's going to have a Josiah Gray-like performance where he gives up a nuke first debut of the game and at literally nothing after that. But I think he's going to pitch kind of well. So maybe at least you have the fact that I think he stays in the game for a good bit, and you'll have your chances.
All right, Javon, I appreciate your support through the season. You have been a W co-host, keeping the vibes up, keeping it positive. But I think we all know that he ain't getting 10Ks today.
No, I don't think he's getting 10Ks. I think there's only like a time or two where I've said there's actually hope for him to get 10Ks. And like I can't say I've taken a stance otherwise.
Yeah, I
like
think
pretty
if I
solid.
circled every game on the schedule before the season, Javon, or if I ranked them from the highest chance to lowest chance, this would probably be at the bottom.
Yeah,
this game.
Pretty far at the bottom. Pretty far at the bottom.
All right, any plays you like in this? I'm assuming you like the under.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love going back to it after yesterday, but it feels pretty similar. Maybe this, honestly, is the game where you try and get cute with a little Nationals plus money, maybe first 5 ML. Because, I mean, Gray Rod, too. That's when he faces teams that do not strike out nearly as much. He's a much different pitcher. I think all of his lines have been taken down a lot over the past couple hours of the morning, too. So, like, I don't think he goes out there and struggles mightily, but maybe gives up a stray little nuke like I thought you were going to get off of Bradish yesterday. So I'll leave it there.
All right. We got people alting him to 13 strikeouts. Please don't do that, folks. Please don't do that. That ain't hidden. I know that's a joke, though. You don't even offer that. I think the most you can take is more than 9.5 today, which is a bad sign. All right. Well, chat, one last chance for Patty C's. Hey, he's come through in spots I didn't expect in the past, and he won us a World Series, Javon. Maybe he pulls some of that magic out and gets 10 strikeouts today. We'll see.
This would be the most Patrick Corbin thing ever, man, if you were to do it today.
Would be. It really would be. Take us to Philly.
Yeah, Philly. Look at how overdue he is, man.
Oh.
It might be the day. Just might be the day.
If he didn't suck, it would be possible.
Yeah, it would be possible. It would. But we'll see. He's honestly, I mean, he's been kind of good this season. Like, he's been kind of cashing like his normal strikeout lines. That's been a pretty big cash counter, at least second half of the season. But yeah, we can move on from that game. But Philly, I'm fading the mandatory little hangover spot here after they just clinched yesterday. I assume, I mean, this line dropped 70 cents after that game, so I assume you're going to see B team in for the Phillies, which I'm fully aware of that. Johan Oviedo, honestly, like, I don't think he's significantly different of a pitcher than Ranger Suarez. I think if these guys were on comparable teams, this would be like a pick 'em line. All things considered, when you talk about the hangover spot and everything, but Johan Oviedo is kind of the perfect pitcher to take advantage of a Phillies lineup with a couple guys out. He's going to be like super aggressive, make them really attack him in the strike zone. And then Ranger Suarez, the Pirates against lefties have been sneakily patient. They're not putting up amazing numbers, but kind of well enough in this game. So I'm taking a stab at it. Even after the line has kind of dropped to reflect what you're going to see from the Phillies. Just don't think they need this game. And the Pirates are just pesky.
Agreed. Our guy Dior DZ in chat. Why are we on the Pirates today? What am I missing? You're missing that the Phillies clinched that number 1 wild card spot last night. I'm sure they were out boozing. That team is fun as heck, just like they did last year, and then they blew it. They actually have the same pitcher on the bump. See if I can find that. Fat Girls Inc. W insight as always. Ranger last year on clinch day, when he had to pitch the next day versus the Astros in the same spots, he got rocked. Probably was still drunk. I don't blame him. You could get that again today. That's probably why the lines moved that way.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, here's Brandon Marsh yesterday, one of the many Phillies who were at Xfinity going crazy
Wow.
last night, as they should. As they should.
They were at Xfinity Live. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah, Chad, you think they're winning today? They could probably barely get out of bed. I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
Yeah, I've rode the same bull as Brandon Marsh. That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Pretty sick.
Yeah.
Pretty
Probably
sick.
still got some of that grease from his hair on there still.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, they'll be gassed. The other thing is like the last, I don't know, week or so, their bullpen has been destroyed. So the fact that, I mean, you're not going to see guys out there, but even the guys that are kind of in the back end of that bullpen, they're going to have to pitch after Ranger Suarez gets rocked. They're pretty gassed too. So you're going to see some maybe like C team guys come out for the Phillies in the pen. They want to keep everybody healthy, but also the pen is in a tough spot.
Yep. Also, side note, if I had to pick one MLB player who I think came from a time machine or a different dimension or world or universe, it'd probably be Brandon Marsh. That guy doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Put Javon's face on Marsh and a Reds logo on the bull. Dude, grow up.
I bet, man. I bet.
All right. Keep going. Get that meat glued out of here. Yeah. Take us to Detroit and the trophies.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Royals are too live in this game. Tariq Skubal has been fantastic as of late. The Royals on the road against lefties have been striking out a shit ton. So, like, Skubal, I wouldn't be shocked if he has, like, a 10K game, just an absolute masterclass. Am I going to go to the grave with it? No, I'm not laying the -1.5. Maybe I'll lay Skubal props with the Tigers, but I really don't want to get involved.
Okay.
Do not. But
yeah, Chiates and Pez. It is what it is. All right. Orion Kirkgreen, Philly's secret weapon out of the pen, will get work. Wow, Phillies.
Yeah, he's been him. He's been him. He's their only reliever that I think he can trust going into the playoffs. Damn near.
All right.
But, yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
What about Toronto and the Yanks? I'm seeing Garrett Cole as an underdog. Always piques my interest when I see that.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to gauge it because he is an underdog, but is also the eliminated Yankees. I know you love to hear that against the Blue Jays, and another absolute must-win game for them. So I do still kind of lean the Blue Jays. I think it's going to be honestly, after yesterday, I wouldn't be shocked if we get some runs off of both these pitchers. I wouldn't mind taking, now that he's probably playing, wouldn't mind taking a stab at Aaron Judge today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'd mind.
I know you would. So I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you. I mean, he's him against Barrios, so it makes a lot of sense. You're probably going to see a lot of people on Judge today if that's the case, but I'll go to the grave with it. I think the Yankees offense wakes up, especially. I mean, this is a place where they love to play spoiler with Garrett Cole on the mound too, so I wouldn't be shocked if we get more runs than yesterday in this game, which isn't saying much, but I still lean the Jays. I think they pull it out late.
Okay. W's? Fuck Judge. I'm with you, Trent. Trent, go hang out with the fam, man. Go look at the sun. All right? Go get your vibes up. Go get your rays up. Please put sunscreen on, bro. You were getting cooked. You look redder than me out there. Okay? Put some sunscreen on for the love of God. Javon, second game of the doubleheader. You touched on it already. What was your play in the second game?
I mean, I'm hoping it's Mets. We'll see after game one kind of how it goes. I'm hoping they win first game because that would put them in a great spot. Game two, hoping for a sweep with Kodai Senga on the mound at home in game two. So, yeah, I would not be touching anything except the Mets here, especially if the Marlins win game one. Keep it simple there.
Okay.
Yeah, ATL. It feels incredibly similar to yesterday's game, except the very obvious difference in the pitching matchup. So I would not be surprised if this is just straight Braves in this game, which I'm trying to avoid all bias in this. But I mean, Tyone against the Braves in this spot where they kind of need him to eat innings too. Good luck. I wouldn't be shocked if Vines pitches pretty well too. He doesn't match up too poorly against this Cubs offense too. He throws a lot of fastballs, which wasn't really good for the Cubs initially through like the majority of the season, but now they can't hit him for God knows whatever reason. So I mean, coming off of that game yesterday, I would love to find an angle to back them, my Reds wild card bias aside, but I just don't know if I can do it here.
Explain Dame to the Bucks like I'm a Phil's Nugget. If I even knew how to explain that, I would.
What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Dude's out here in Hawaii just moosing. What is it? 9 a.m. there? I can't do math, but 9? Maybe?
I don't know, man. I don't even know what the fuck that meant. I'll be honest with you. Who knows what the heck Trent's putting in his body out there, but I think it's making his words get all tripped up.
Yeah, there he goes.
Trent, dudes.
Bro really got that red, snapped that picture, and just thought, you know what? That's a great idea to post this.
Be careful, Trent. Javon might try to glue your meat if you're that red.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Crazy.
Bro, Trent, you need to put sunscreen on, you goof.
It's facts.
More red than your
got his face looking like his cow.
Krabs, Trell, Jays, POD is the Nats plus 1.5. He's got to be fucking with me.
No shot,
Gotta be
man.
fucking with me. All right. My goodness. Trent, put sunscreen on, dude. Grow up. All right. Let's move. Let's groove here. I didn't get my play in this game that I absolutely love. It's the under in this game, Javon. We saw that game go over in the last one last night. W, Squad Ride Cash. Love it. Now I want to go back to the under in this game. You're seeing that total go down from 10.5 to 9.5. I'm seeing some 9s floating aloof, Javon. Pretty crazy. Italian, I don't know if you watched him pitch in his last 3 outings or so, but he's had 2 shutouts in his last 3 outings. He's on his best stretch of the season so far. His strikeouts have been up immensely over the last month as we get a sub bang from Don't Fade 86 W's. But Italian seems to have maybe turned the page at least a little bit. He's not pitching like Patrick Corbin right now. He's pitching a little bit better. And that total's on the move, and the splits are beautiful on that under. Yeah. And I thought it was a little bit weird after the game last night going over. And then with these 2 offenses and these 2 Moose Shit bullpens, seeing that total go down almost a 1.5 in this spot with worse pitchers on the bump. What the hell's going on here, man? I don't know what it is, but the splits are sharp, and that under's hitting, folks. I'm going to be betting on it. That's my favorite play of the day by far today.
Yeah, you know, my one issue was because I was kind of thinking about it too. I didn't have the nuts to do it. Tyone, those last 4 starts, all of his starts in September, he has 2 shutout outings and 2 outings where he's up 5. You want to guess which 2 were at home and which 2 were on the road?
I'm looking at his stats right now. The 2 gems were on the 2 gems were home, and the 2 dog shit starts were on the road, and he's pitching on the road again today. Yep.
Yeah, that's what scares me. Especially like those were 4, I'll call it what it is, even though the Reds are involved. Those are 4 dog shit offenses. So,
and one of those was a wind game.
Yeah, one of those was a win game, and he still pitched well. So he's a big fly ball pitcher going up against the Braves on the road. Braves are at home. I'm worried for him. I think he might need a Vines masterclass for this to stay under.
Okay. All right. I'm still going to hold.
I don't hate that either.
Okay. I'm still going to hold. I just think it's ridiculous that total is now down to 9 some places. That should be at 10.5, 11. It should be higher than yesterday's total.
Yeah,
I don't get it. Wrong. It's a line play. I'm taking it, chat. If you want to tail an MLB play, that's my favorite one today. All right. Javon, you want to skip through maybe the Oakland-Minnesota game unless you love anything, or you want to back Matt Wallner maybe?
No, I mean, that might be my favorite play of the day in that game. Twins team total over. Which, again, I despise doing it. I despise doing it after yesterday. But, I mean, this is Joey Estes. They brought up, and I thought about doing this in his debut because he was going up. I forget who he played or pitched against the first time around, but he's a massive fly ball pitcher. And they brought him up against a team who destroys them. It was the Mariners. Massive fly ball pitcher, and he was pitching at home in Oakland, which even made it – that was kind of my concern there, that it was either going to be there or in T-Mobile Park, which are both 2 massive pitchers' parks. But he went in, he gave up 3 home runs, he gave up 5 runs, and now he plays a Twins team who literally all they do is hit home runs. All they do is hit fly balls. So, like, they're going to feast. And I really wish they had Michael A. Taylor because he's honestly one of my favorite matchups for them. But there's a lot of guys in there like Matt Wallner, like Max Kepler, a lot of those guys that destroy everything that Estes is going to throw at them. So I was honestly kind of worried about how to play this game because I have my questions about Pablo Lopez. Especially like him against terrible teams, which the A's were one of these teams that he gave up like 7 against earlier in the season. For some reason, he can't pitch against bad teams and bad offenses. So I really don't know what I'm going to get from him today. I lean that he's going to pitch decently well, but I'm not willing to go to the grave with it. I'll go to the grave with the Twins putting up 5 runs. That's what I will do.
Okay. I can get behind that. Pile it on. The new shit Athletics still looking for their 49th and 50th win. I don't even know if they're going to get it.
If this was like at a different point in the season than the last couple of days, I probably would just take the over because I would think the A's could scratch a couple. But at this point in the season, especially with the A's on the road, I wouldn't be shocked if they're just hanging them up. It's the kind of are at this point.
Yep. I put 200 on Corbin, 10 plus 2,700. I also saw my guy Pega in chat talking about how he's on 10 plus at plus 2,600. You guys are riders. I respect it. Let's have a day. Let's cash. I hope you guys put 0.1 units on that, or maybe even less. Okay. Dubs. And somebody say Warner. Anybody say Matt Warner?
Hitting 5th today.
All right. Let's see another absolute mammoth shot from Matt Warner today. Come on.
Yeah. Or Max Kepler.
Or Caps. Sure. Eckler seen at practice. Damn. Okay. Javon. Take us to Milwaukee, St. Louis. Why do I want to bet on St. Louis?
Yeah, I can see why. That's the Cardinals are not a team that I want to get involved in or involved with right now. I know you saw that the earned run square and you want to get involved. To me, you can give your pitch on that. I don't really have anything in this game.
Yeah, I'm going to be taking that earned run square 100%. Dude, it's probably better if you just pull it up because it's nasty. But we got our guy who is not good, Thompson on the bump. Tomato there. They go stink. We got Thompson on the bump against Miley, and that line has come down to plus 112. I freaking bet. Not saying I'm going to take the Cardinals NL in the spot. I learned my lesson last week when I tried to get cute with that team who just does not win, no matter what the lines are. But I will get cute with Zach Thompson to throw a gem in the spot. The total's down from 8.5 to 8. Like we've talked about and like we've seen the last week of the season, runs are hard to come by at times. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little gem to end the season for Zach Thompson, a young guy still trying to make the squad next year. I wouldn't be shocked to see him go out there and give it his all and try to prove to the Cardinals one more time to give him a chance next season. And you know what? That might be the weirdest prize pick square up there on the board today.
Yeah, it could be. If I had to take anything in this game, I'll probably stick to the PP board and do this. But
okay,
I don't want to get involved. I'll leave that to you. Trust you on that one.
Okay. Dodgers, Rockies.
What else do we have? Dodgers, Rockies. I mean, this feels – I guess I can't say pretty similar to last game because I thought there was going to be one of these games where the Dodgers just absolutely splooged, and I'm glad that I waited after the first game because it was quite certainly the second game. So I think it's pretty similar here. But, I don't think Emmett Sheehan is going to pitch incredibly either. This might be just the over for me here. I do think the Rockies' bats kind of come out to help in this game. But, again, another team that is very, very dead at this point. So, get involved with caution with the Rockies.
Trent, man. I gotcha. And if that's what you want, I will do it because that's only going to maximize my potential winnings when I lock it in for a sneak 10 units. Sure.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me know, Trent. I'll get you later, bro.
You had some sharp ones yesterday outside of – Steele hitting was kind of fluky, but the other couple that actually did hit that you had were pretty sharp.
And then we got Devin's bookie freaking on Twitter acting like he's literally Megamind or like he's Superman. He's flaunting around a $250 slip. I'm like, bro, you hit a 1 unit bet, brother. And I don't unit shame. Not to you guys. But I'll unit shame to a creator like that who's an asshole.
He's got all the guys, anybody who does baseball in one of those little private discords, they just bet the whole board and something's going to hit. They have 50 guys in there. But it was also it didn't even, I commented under, I was like, dude's talking like he gave up 8. It didn't even go over with him on the mound. It was a run that was charged to him. So, take your win.
Dude had a shutout until the last inning when he got pulled. And he wasn't even the one that fucking gave up the last runs. And the guy's celebrating like he won the Super Bowl like he's on the Chiefs. I was
Yeah,
like, dude,
hilarious.
you are the worst. And then I go through his tweets, and he's like, just finished dinner with my accountant at the steak place. I'm like, dude, you're just the worst person ever, man. How do people see you and think you're serious? How do people hear you and not hate your guts? How do they not know you're a fraud? How do they not just throw up when they hear you speak? I don't know.
By the Discord.
Yeah. Go ahead and pay for his picks. I'm sure that'll be profitable. Guys, if people made money betting sports and they were that sharp, would they need to sell their picks? Yes or no? If people were as good as they advertised, and if the bets were hidden like everyone was posting, and all these handicappers, showing all their records, if that was the case, why would they need to even waste time collecting and selling picks? Think about that for a second. There's no answer. There's none. There is no answer. And that's why. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving here, folks. Let's talk about Texas and the Angels, unless you have anything in the Rockies game too.
No, I don't. I'm good off of that game.
What do you got in Texas, LA?
Not too much. I mean, I don't want to just lay the Rangers here, another team that's kind of in the driver's seat, but still in a must-win spot against the Angels, who just tore the shit out of them yesterday. Shout out Randall Grichuk for his legacies. But yeah, this is a must-win spot for the Rangers. Dane Dunning on the mound. You're either going to get a Dane Dunning that's going to go out there and give up 6 and walk 5, or one that's just going to be dominant through like 5 innings, and they'll pull him early and get it to the bullpen. Yeah, Drury Bonds too. People forget he's out here in nukes, man. He's all of a sudden Mark McGwire second half of the season. But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if the Angels came out and were a little live in this game. So I do think Griffin Canning too against this Rangers lineup without likely Seager. I mean, they had a couple guys get a little banged up. I know Seager got an MRI, which looked good. I think it was negative, but I don't know if he's going to be able to be playing today. A couple guys too. So you're going to see a little different lineup for the Rangers, which is why that line initially came down. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Angels win this one. I'm just not willing to go to the grave with it.
It's literally what it is, guys. Like, you don't see it because you're not in the Discord where they post a fucking slip of every single game. Just please, guys, use your brains. Be smart. All right? If people are selling you picks, it's because they need coins. That's why they're selling you the picks. And if they need coins, they're probably not making millions of dollars off of sports betting.
Dude,
okay?
Before I really started getting into this stuff, we had one of my best friends from college he was an avid Discord supporter, and he had a couple that he bought. So we were monitoring them, and then eventually we would go in just out of curiosity, and we would us and a couple people would split one just to kind of prove how terrible they were. So he would stop buying them, and we went through a month where we got a couple, and they were all just so ridiculously most pissed. He was a big NBA bettor, so you'd have the guys who would ladder every bench player in the world, and there'd be 15 different Discord guys, and they'll just be all moose. Then the one
see the one tweet of the one guy who balled, and it looks great because it's whoa, that's random. You guessed that guy to go off, but it's you look in the freaking Discord that you're overpaying for, and you see 9 other slips like it, and you're actually down 5 units because you bet all of them equally, like you said. I don't understand.
Got people laddering Isaiah Livers every day, man. The one day he hits, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. All right. A couple more plays here, folks. Houston and Seattle, Javon. You love anything in this one or no?
I don't love anything here. I will say I'm a little worried about Bryce Miller. I think, to be honest with you, looking at this game, I'm a little shocked to see Framber minus 120, to be honest with you, with as bad as he's been on the road. I see him. I mean, obviously, he's had a couple really, really good starts, including the no-hitter and then the second near no-hitter, which wasn't his fault, that got broken up. But on the road, he's been bad. So, I kind of view him getting priced pretty similarly to Christian Javier, who we saw a massive difference with that last night. With Kirby on the mound, is a little better than a Bryce Miller, but Bryce Miller, he can have some trouble against this lineup, which is why we're talking about the go well entries. I think Goldie against Wade Miley is one that I'm concerned about, but Jordan against Bryce Miller, who's been giving up a lot of fly balls and hard contact, I'm worried about him today too. Maybe having a Jordan legacy game against him. So I kind of like the Astros here, where I've seen a lot of Mariners love today because, I don't know why. I've seen Mariners have to win this game. So do the Astros. They're, a half game ahead of the Mariners in the race. So they're in the same spot. So I think the price of the game is a little telling too. With, like I said, Framber has been a target all year on the road. And now it's one of the biggest games, if not the biggest games of the season for him. And yeah, I would very reluctantly take Jordan. I think he sends one into orbit today.
I don't think I've seen more plays today than back in Jordan. Not saying it's not going to hit.
I know why.
Not saying that I don't want to take it. But I'm just saying it's very, very, very popular today. I mean, it's Jordan Alvarez. Okay. It's not like you're taking, Jake Lou on the Nationals.
Yeah.
All right. I'm with you, though. I thought that was some serious respect for Framber, especially after Houston dropped that first game last night. The Astros are only up a half a game at this point. I do like them. I thought that opener was telling, even if that line pulls back to Seattle. I'll check the splits right now, but I'm willing to bet that the Mariners are more public than people think, even against a good team like Houston. Let me pull these splits up real quick. Looks like we got, although 60% of bets are on the Seattle Mariners plus 1.5. Jesus, but only 37% of handle. The ML, maybe not as public as I expected, but over 40% of bets in handle are on the Mariners ML plus chick. So not terrible, but the Astros are a little public. They're going to be. They're the Astros.
Yeah.
I do still like them in this game, though. I think they win.
Yeah. Did you see that Framber earned run square up too?
Yes, I did.
After giving up 6 to the Royals?
Yeah. I would not mind targeting that one bit. And I'm hearing a lot of Miller slurpage on the feet, and I do think he gets rocked today too as well. I'm with you. Yeah, give me Framber to throw a gem today. Sure. I wouldn't mind that under in that game either, although I am a little bit worried that Miller gets rocked because sometimes when he's bad, he is terrible.
I kind of like the over in this game too. I think they snuck – I think they yesterday's game snuck over by half a run, which really probably should have gone by more. I think this one may hit a little easier. I think Bryce Miller gets tapped early. Maybe see Framber kind of sneak below, like give up 2, and then it's just chaos after that.
Okay. All right, chat. Maybe it is the over then. I'd say, gun to my head, I'm taking Houston in that game.
Yeah, same.
Let's talk about this late night game. I got a couple plays, a couple angles in this one I like, Javon, and then we'll go ahead and craft up the BTL squad ride, chat. So get your brains loose. Get ready. Right now, we're going to talk Padres and Giants. We got Waldron on the bump. And we got Manaea on the bump, Javon. Manaea is coming off of maybe his best start ever. Definitely his best start of the season. I'll tell you that much. 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 0 earned runs. And yeah, that should pay. Manaea, absolute gem in his last outing, Javon. I'm not even going to acknowledge that. Absolute gem.
It's hard to.
It really is. All right. And then you look at Trent Grisham on the Prize Picks board. And he's a red out go. He is. He could not be more red. He's redder than my beard. Straight up. And this guy stinks. Javon, he's hitting 252 against lefties and 177 against righties. So he is getting a lefty, at least for the first couple innings in this spot, which I like. But Javon, this guy hasn't gotten a hit since September 11th. I swear to God. He is 0-20 in the last 8 games. He is cold as ice. I don't understand it. The rest of that team is doing a little bit, at least keeping that team afloat and winning. And they're putting that up today on Prize Picks. Are you kidding me? Trent Grisham, who hasn't gotten a hit since 9/11. What? 0 for 20. But he hits lefties well. And he has a good record against Manoah in a small sample, 3 for 7 against Manoah, Javon. Maybe it's Trent Grisham day.
Just might be. Just might
be. Yeah. Straight up. I'm taking that. I'm taking it. I'm telling you. Padres can be eliminated today if they lose, or if the Cubs win, or if the Reds win, or if the Marlins win twice. Only one of those things has to happen.
I really hope that that doesn't happen. I'd love if they stay afloat because they lose and the Cubs lose and the Marlins lose maybe twice. Reds can win though, of course. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I don't know if they will.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm clenching. I'm like Jose Ramirez with the bases loaded. You know, we got
Dead Arm McGee on the bump for the Reds today, man. I mean, I looked at his stats while you were talking. He is atrocious. He can't even get out of the fourth inning right now, Javon. Is his velo down?
There's a reason for it. Yeah,
Oh.
everything is chalked for him, and he's fighting because the Reds have literally no other option. If this was in May or June, he'd be on the IL. Maybe, I don't know, rest up, get surgery if he needs it, but they have no choice right now. So he's out there fighting.
Yeah.
You can only respect it.
And chat, I wasn't making a 9/11 joke. He literally hasn't gotten a hit since September 11th. Like, I'm not fucking with you. Look at his stats. If you think I'd be making a 9/11 joke on here, literally grow up. That is absurd. He hasn't gotten a hit since September 11th. Give me a break with that shit.
Trent, I want a Mega Max, 10U Mega Max. You on the Guards ML today? I need you.
Don't do it, Trent.
I need to see that.
Don't.
Guards ML, nuke piece on Shane Bieber K's. That's what the world needs.
No.
It absolutely needs.
No. Don't do it. I got another square in this game I like.
Tap in.
What if we fade Manoah in this spot? Or sorry, Manea. Manea, they're both going to pitch the same today. They got that Manea 2.5 earned run square up, Javon, after he had an absolute gem. Wouldn't mind taking that.
You know what my concern is with guys like that? Because he has that up knowing, or I guess not concern. Like I like it. I like the over. They know he's not going for nearly as long as like a full starter. I mean, he just pitched. His pitching outs line is usually 14.5. I would assume it's the same today. So like I think you did this with Zach Thompson once before. He's a guy who at that time went like 4 or 5 innings. Sean Manea is kind of the same way, and the Padres offense obviously is dog shit. So I wouldn't mind going to that. Not gonna lie. After he was DeGrom last week.
He was DeGrom in his last 3 starts. I mean, he's gone more than 5 innings. In his last 3 starts, he went 7 innings in that last outing.
Not happening again.
Well, I mean, they're eliminated from the playoffs, Javon. So what's the rush to go to the bullpen? They're not playing for wins.
It's true, but he is also on, I guess, somewhat shorter rest than they've had him on. I guess this month they've kind of ramped him up a little bit. The rest of the season, they haven't done much.
He's on the same rest he was the last 3 starts where he went full.
Yeah. I'll believe it.
I think he might go. Like, what's the point of pulling him early? There's nothing to do it for.
Yeah.
I think it's.
I mean, it's not like they're going to do it out of necessity. I'm thinking they're going to do it because they have no choice.
Well, I'd hope so, because that means he gave up at least 3, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. I think we're on the same page.
Yeah.
He pitched when I was sweating Freddie. Yeah, he pitched 5 days ago. He did. Same amount of rest as he had the start before when he just went 7 innings against your Dodgers, Trent. So they're probably going to leave him out there. There's no reason to take him out. Give me Manea more than 2.5 earned runs. Also, give me the Padres on the ML here. I got a weird feeling in my gut that they just keep staying alive. I don't think it's going to be them who eliminates themselves. It would be a very Padres move for them to keep winning games here at the end of the season. And guys, if the season was another 20 games longer, the Padres would be in there. Maybe even less. Like right now, they're winning games. It's hilarious to see it. But I don't think it'll be the Padres who lose to eliminate themselves. I could see it like it was yesterday. I think it'll be one of these other teams either winning or losing to mathematically eliminate the Padres. And I think the Padres stay hot and get a win today on the road against a Giants team that just got eliminated.
Fair enough. Fair
Sure.
enough. They do have a lot of Padres squares up today, which is weird.
Good.
Like I expect Tatis and Soto to be up for everything, but Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts, and then the Grisham square all up. It's a little strange.
I love that Grisham square. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, just got to hope he's in the lineup.
He's been playing most days. I was doing some research, checking the Carfax.
Yeah, he did yesterday.
Matt Waldron had 9 strikeouts last game.
Oh, no.
Just a snug for you.
How'd the knuckleball look, dudes?
It looked great. It was moving all over the place.
Don't let him get hot.
I told you,
Padres analysis.
I told you, second coming of R.A. Dickey.
You did say that, and I told you to shut up, and that's probably why you threw a jump.
Yeah.
So good call, dudes. Once again,
Yes, sir.
Unreal.
Some dude in my DMs needs a Soto gag for $20K in his go well. Oh, Machado gag.
Machado gag.
We can go and take his less than total bases today.
Yeah.
All right.
Heat fans are
Sheesh.
pissed. That fairy tale finally came to an end. Dude, I talked about it already. You never was happening. It's always some big free agent headed to Miami. It never happens.
Yep.
We know.
Sorry, Javon. Brutal.
Yeah, GG's.
Brutal. All right. It's about that time, folks. We'll get a prize picks entry out there today, but let's craft up a squad ride for tonight. No football, no problem. All right. We've hit 2 squad rides so far this week, Javon. Let's make it 3. Why not us?
Why not?
W's. Chat, we got best bets below. If you want to lock anything in a tail, 3 plays, 3 winners each that we love. But Javon, let's craft up a little squad ride for the people. It's about that time. I would love to put in that under.
Okay, put it in.
Okay. Dubs. We want to put the Pirates in there?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I feel like that's just a trap, but I'm probably going to be on it myself. I don't really think there's more plays that are better than that today.
Yeah. Slim Pickens. Yeah, chat. Taylor DNP. For best bets purposes, you can go ahead and replace that with Max Kepler.
Okay.
That's
W
my
insight,
replacement
Javon. We'll put Minnesota TTO in there.
Yeah.
Hopefully we see Matt Wallner out there running around, doing his thing. Matt Wallner.
Matt Wallner. There we go.
You want to take the Rays?
Yeah, I'm down to put the Rays in there. I'll be on them.
Okay. You want to take Corbin alt line more than 9.5 strikeouts?
Yeah. I mean, we could put his actual Ks in the vote.
Dude.
If you want. I have
What
nothing
fun will
against
that
the
be?
play.
What fun will that be when he cashes and then he lands at 5? And then I'm just like, oh, well, that was cool, but now I'm actually still mad. I might be more mad after that.
Well, at least you get a nice cash out of Corbin to end the season.
And then what happens if he gets 2 strikeouts and then I'm in double miss?
Yeah, then it is kind of double piss. It is kind of double piss.
Is Messi goal on prize picks? Ooh.
Are they back in season?
Might have to fade.
I
Might have to fade.
I don't see Messi go up.
What about wouldn't mind going Houston ML? Wouldn't mind going with any of these prize pick squares either. What do you think, Javon? Wouldn't mind Padres ML either. I'd say Padres ML, Houston ML, or maybe a PP square.
These are all pretty solid plays. No judge over bases in the vote.
Dude, don't even waste your words. You don't even need to waste them.
Let's see. Chad, what do we like, man? I don't mind out of those plays.
We did go over NFL today. And guys, as always, you can go to our YouTube page, you can go to our Twitch page, and you can rewatch these episodes. Okay, so if you join late, if you missed an app, if you want to be the homie, if you're in here every day and we're making you coins and you want to send the show to your buddies in your gambling group chat, because I know you're all in them, that would help us a lot. Okay, we want to get this show out to the world and keep it growing, keep it moving, and keep it grooving. Okay, but you can always go back and rewatch.
Yeah, we will be doing more in-depth NFL slate stuff, I guess, the next couple days. So you got that to look to, too.
100%. We will be touching on the NFL the next couple days. Yep. Awesome. Best stream out there. W, Anthony. Appreciate it. Hope you guys are enjoying it. We're stepping up a little bit during NFL, working hard. We're prepping, finding winners. Hope you guys are along for the ride. Hope you're enjoying the show. All right, folks. Let's put Astros ML in there.
All right.
Good. Just sent the stream to Trell's Discord. Thank you. I appreciate that. Took it with Brent. W's. All right, chat. 5 plays, 5 winners. We'll run a quick poll here. Chicago, Atlanta under 9. Pitt ML. Minnesota team total over. The Rays ML. And Houston ML. My favorite play is probably that Chicago, Atlanta under. Javon, your favorite play is probably Minnesota team total over.
Yeah.
W's. Danny says, give me the Mariners. Oh, my. Sheesh.
I can't back the Mariners after yesterday. That's for sure.
Ryder Cup talk all this week. What time does the Ryder Cup start? Does it start at like 3 a.m. tonight?
It's not tonight. No, it starts at at 1:30 a.m. Thursday night. So Friday
So
morning.
like Friday morning early.
Yeah, Friday morning early.
Oh yeah. I'll come with some Ryder Cup plays.
Yeah, we can talk about that tomorrow. We got time.
USA is -110. They're favored, and they haven't won in Europe for 30 years, I think it is.
That line keeps on moving, then, my man. US was like -180.
They opened at -200.
Yeah, and now they're down to barely even a favorite. Chad, maybe I'll hit up an old friend. Maybe we'll hit up Kenny and see if he's got any plays or any time for tomorrow. I'm sure you'd be interested in a little Kenny drop by for some golf plays.
Why not?
Okay.
Down.
I just watched mostly for chat and good vibes from Javon and Krabs and the night sweats from Trent. W. Alec. Yep. If you guys are new, we've got 2 shows during the day. We've got night sweats at nights. We've got 6 creators here at Betting on Sports talking about it. Make sure you guys squad. All right. Love Big 2.0. Sure.
Dude,
all right,
honestly, if we have a potential situation Sunday where the Reds are in a playoff position, they have to win. We might have to do a little NFL sweats / Moose because the Reds are there. Might have to do that.
Wow. What time do the Reds play on Sunday?
I mean, they play smack dab in the middle of the NFL slate. So, I mean, we'll be betting with a couple or watching with a couple screens. That's for sure. But
okay,
if they're in a potential situation to make the playoffs come Sunday, you have my word. There will be some kind of sweat stream.
Chat search stream returns on Monday, and get your squad ride votes in. Hurry up, go, go, go. Get your votes in. Go, 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 go. Hurry up, get your votes in, go. Minnesota team total over is crushing the poll, Javon. Not shocked. Cannot confirm or deny, Wags. I have not communicated yet. We don't know. We don't have an answer for you yet. Trent's got to get to Mississippi. Sure. Somebody's got to do it. All right. Can you all run Surge? No, not today, my man. We just ran a 2-hour show. And we'll be back tomorrow as well. Okay, we'll be back Friday too. Don't you guys worry. We will be here finding winners, talking bets, plenty of football to talk about over the next 2 days. Share the stream to your buddies. All right, it helps. Even if you just share the link to the Twitch in your gambling group chat and say, yo, tune in. These kids are sharp. Maybe like a little knife emoji. That'd be very helpful. All right, guys, if you're OGs, take care of us as we take care of you with the squad rides. Minnesota, team total over 4.5. Javon, that's the play we wanted. Matt Wallner will be in the building and hopefully clutching up for us today.
We'd love to see it.
W's. All right, chats. Great episode today. Tons of sub bangs. One soul hype with another sub bang, closing it out. So many goats on the bump today. Who gets shelled? Javon, who would be the one goat who gets shelled today? Could it be a sneak Garrett Cole as an underdog?
One goat who gets shelled?
It could be.
I mean, there's not many goats on the mound. Like, it's what, Garrett Cole, is Shane Bieber a goat? I don't really know. Glass now maybe is a goat. I don't think any of those guys are
talking about Patrick Corbin. He could be.
Patrick Corbin is a goat, Cy Young contender, in my opinion. But
probably will get shelled. So that could be your answer right there, folks.
Let's just say if there's a handful of very good pitchers, maybe not goats, that I'd say get shelled today, I think Bryce Miller is in that conversation. For sure. I think one of the pitchers in the Yankees-Toronto game, probably Garrett Cole, maybe in that conversation too. And I guess not lately, but he's been a good pitcher for the rest of the season, or most of the season. But Brian Bayo is on that watch too.
Okay. All right, Chad, you heard it here, folks. Couple goats, couple mini goats who we think are getting shelled today. And let's all say a quick prayer to the gambling gods. Corbin legacies, we need them.
Praying for it.
Please, Corbin. It would be magical.
It would be unreal.
And it wouldn't be the first time he's pulled something magical off, like coming out of the bullpen in 2019. We'll see, chat. We've got one more goddamn chance. Tune in tonight to the Nats game. We'll know early if he's got his slider on or not. All right, chat. Squad ride, Minnesota team total over. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. And I'm Tail and G Unit.